Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the channel. Congratulations to each and every one of you for making it into the FA Cup final. Chelsea beat Southampton 2-0 at Wembley Stadium. And I have a confession to make. I did not watch the game live. I wasn't able to watch the game live for family-related matters. I have seen the highlights and I've seen some reactions to the game. But this is why I have a panel with me tonight, because I'm sure they've seen the game. And we're going to try to recap on the key factors of the game, the key moments, the good performances, bad performances, and what it means to be at Wembley again to play Liverpool for the second time, for the second final at Wembley Stadium this season, Chelsea versus Liverpool. The last final, I was there, Max Burton was there, and Gov 1905 was also there. Unfortunately, we didn't see Chelsea win. We saw a great game of football, and then Kepa made a blunder, a howler, when he was trying to score a penalty. That's where we were. This is where we are now. Chelsea have a chance to derail, to put a spanner in the works. Let's not derail. Let's put a spanner in the works for Liverpool's season. Liverpool have won one domestic trophy. They want to win the second one, and they also want to win the league. They want to get the domestic treble, potentially the quad if they are able to win the Champions League. Chelsea are able to put a dampener on that party that Liverpool want to have. Liverpool fans seem to be very confident in their tie against Chelsea. They feel overconfidence, in my opinion. It's bordering on arrogance, but I think that will play in our favour. If they want to underestimate the Chelsea Football Club, they do that at their own peril. So, we're going to be discussing the match, and then we're going to be discussing all the latest Chelsea developments. Do me a favour, lads. Smash that like button. Let's get this stream promoted by the YouTube algorithm, and you can do that by simply hitting that like button and getting the algorithm to recognize that you are enjoying this show, and it's going to promote it to more people. It's going to recommend it to more people. So do me a favor and hit that like button early doors to get this stream off to a good start. Who do we have in the chat today? We have Jeff, big up Mo. Big up Jeff, welcome. Sam Ballard, who always gives 10s early doors and then he starts to give 8s in the match previews, but we'll allow Sam Ballard. Yeah, no, he has his favourites. It's quite obvious. He's an Anthony Taylor in the works. All right, Courtney, bless up, big up to you. I hope you're doing good. Governor, always a pleasure to have you here. Ruben Loftus-Cheek redemption season. Wow, what a name. What a name. Ruben Loftus-Cheek redemption season. Big up more. Ruben is the truth. That's biblical, man. Well, it's Easter, so big up. And happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter. Big up to everyone who's celebrating Easter this weekend. Who else do we have here? We have Faldiaso. I recognize this name. How you doing, guys? How you doing, Fal? I hope you're doing good. AKA Boogeyman. Big up to you, my man. Gabriel, another final. What a great Class B. I'm not sure what you mean. What a great Class B. Are you referring to Baggy? Is that what you're referring to, Baggy? B? I don't know. Big up to you, Gabriel. Boogeyman. All right. Gabriel's been AWOL from my panel. I mean, I don't even know why I keep him in the group. You know, he's borderline getting fired from the group. Andon, big up Mo and the panel. Big up Andon. Big up to you. Welcome. Javi, what's Javi saying? Javi saying, big up Kasim. My point is Chelsea must not sell this season. We should buy defender, midfielder, and a skill winger, Felix or Sané. I don't know. Felix, Sané. We've got Timo Werner, man. Why do we need Sané? We've got Timo Werner. I don't know. And Felix will be Loftus-Cheek, man. I don't know. What's Barkley? I don't know. No, I'm kidding. George, big up to you. I hope you're doing good. And we have the Mr. Controversial, Mr. Controversy, Mr. Let me control and dominate the stream for the Blue Lounge, Mr. Iman himself. Big up, Iman. Big up to you. Welcome to the show. You got us going on a right tangent overnight, but big up to you, Iman. Good to have you on. Yo, my usual suspects are in the chat. Big up to each and every one of you. And I just remind you, hit that like button. It would mean a ton to get this off to a good start. Who do I have on the panel? I have with me Mr. Julius himself. Julius, how are you? How you doing?
Good to see you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, when I see you, Boogeyman, Eric, Bobby, Chris, I always feel good. So it's good to see you guys here. Makes me feel good. Chris, how are you?
Oh, I feel good, mate. First of all, pleasure to be back on the Blue Lounge. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share to your mum, your dad, your gran, whoever. And yeah, it's good. Also, can I just say congratulations to the Chelsea women's team as well. They've got into the FA Cup final, so Chelsea are dominating in all fronts domestically in terms of the FA Cup. So yeah, I feel good, mate. I feel good. It's Easter. You know, a few chocolate, Easter eggs, you know, a few of that has been consumed. But hey ho, happy Easter to whoever's celebrating. And yeah, another final awaits. Let's hopefully go there and win this time. Come on, let's go.
Big up. You know what? I was reflecting and looking back at the FA Cup. The last 5 finals, we've taken part in 4. We've been in the last 5 FA Cup finals. We've taken part in 4, and we've won only 1. The last 2 we lost Leicester and Arsenal. Before that, we won against
Man United,
and then there was a Man City Wolves final which we weren't part of. And the one before that was Chelsea-Arsenal, which we lost as well. So the last 5 finals, we've been part of 4. Now it's going to be the last 6 finals, we've been part of 5. So hopefully this time we'll win it, because 3 finals and we don't. I mean, in theory, this is the toughest one. But hopefully we'll win it. Big up to Nick in the chat. Good to see you on here. The last 20 we attended 10, I believe. Did we? Okay. Well, it sounds about right. Boogeyman, how are you? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. We are in the final, so man, I'm good.
Yeah.
What else? Chelsea, right? We always play finals. So
Yeah, and our record with Tuchel in finals is quite good. Domestically, it's been poor. But when I say domestically, it's been poor. We've had 2 domestic finals and we've lost both of them. The FA Cup with Leicester and the Carabao Cup with Liverpool. But apart from that, we've been doing okay. Bobby, Smoky Signals, how are you?
Yeah, good. Happy Easter again, especially for those in the chat. The last
Happy
2
Easter.
finals we were in, we lost 1 and had 1 stolen. So let's have that right. It hasn't been. No, that's a fact. We got to say that as it is.
Yeah.
It's not that we got into finals and we didn't win them. We've been robbed. Even the other FA Cup final against Arsenal, it was blatant robbery as well. So let's hope this one we won't be robbed. Yeah, Liverpool, they're cocky, they're confident. But one thing that I always look at simple things, and the first thing Chelsea players and the manager said is that they're happy they're playing against Liverpool. They want that team to in this final, which is a very, very good omen indeed.
Yeah. To be honest, this game is all we have to play for the season. The game against Liverpool for me is the only game of any real value, because top 3 is in the bag, pretty much. I mean,
we still have to do it. We can't.
No, we'll play, and we're Chelsea. We're not gonna throw games away. We're gonna play, but as a fan, as a spectator, for me, all those other games will not have that much riding on them as much as the final. This is the one game in this season that really matters, and the fact that it's against Liverpool, for me, it makes it even more special, purely for the fact that the Carabao Cup ended in the way that it did. I want to see this game, redemption. I want to see us win this game, and hopefully win it well. And to do that against Liverpool is not easy, I know, but we want to beat the best, so let's beat Liverpool. Let me welcome Eric Blue to the show. Eric, how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me again. I want to firstly jump off what Chris said. Congratulations to the women's team. They also won 2-0. And they are the defending FA Cup winners. And so it's good that they got to the final again. Hopefully they win it for a second time. And obviously the men had a very good performance. Well, very good results. It took them a while to finally get the goals, but it's about winning in these cup competitions. And for me, we have to not, let a record get broken, which is a bad record. So we need to beat Liverpool in the final. And you can say anything you want about the referees, and we know that there's an agenda against Chelsea. That's, for me, it's undeniable. But we have to win in spite of that. We have to find a way. And I don't think the last 2 FA Cup finals, we did everything we could to win those games. That's my personal opinion. Yes, you can talk about the referees, but did we turn up? Were we at our best? Did we do everything we could have done to beat Leicester? I don't think so.
Leicester, I think we underperformed. Arsenal, I think we were robbed. That game, definitely. I 100% agree with Bobby. That game, we were robbed. The Pulisic hamstring didn't help neither. But I think the Leicester game, in hindsight, I'd have started Mendy. That Tillemans goal, I think Mendy would have had that. But again, it's hindsight and it is what it is. This game is going to be massive. And I think if we win the FA Cup, Super Cup, Club World Cup, and people still say that this season has been a failure, boy, I want to see the standards that other teams are being measured by, because Club World Cup is not an easy cup to win. Super Cup, you got to win a major European trophy to qualify for that, and the FA Cup is the FA Cup. So hopefully we'll get this trophy, and two international trophies and a domestic trophy. You can't really complain. Before we address the game, let's look at what Thomas Tuchel had to say. And lads, I'm going to be watching this for the first time with you because I wasn't able to watch it earlier. So let's watch the post-match press conference, and then we will jump in to discuss the game.
Yeah, that's the word. Was very disciplined and very solid and very serious. And we had, in my opinion, we had to take care about some things to control the counterattacks of Crystal Palace before they even start their counterattack. And for that, we had to be very disciplined, and we had to close the spaces down while we had tried to attack. They changed their formation today. We did not expect that, so were not the same spaces to explore that we thought we can explore. We played very disciplined on the ball. They played very disciplined off the ball, so it was not the most exciting game maybe to watch, but it was challenging for us to keep that focus and discipline up, because our schedule. We come from a very demanding schedule. We come from Madrid, we have travels, we have a lot of different competitions. So this is where the credit goes, I think, to my team, and where I'm very proud that we did not lose the focus for a second.
Smile Direct Club. These are Smile Direct Club aligners. They're laser.
We tried to find a bit different spaces in the second half to overload the middle, to maybe accelerate the game towards the box in the last third a bit easier, and with minute by minute it became a bit more fluid. And then it's one of these games where you need to convert maybe a half chance or that one chance that you have to win it. If the opponent does, what can always happen, you can maybe play the same game and go out with a feeling, did we do enough? But it was hard to do more. It was hard to do more without taking crazy risk. If you win the game, maybe you say, wow, that was solid and focused and well controlled. But there was not many other ways to play it, in my opinion. And so we controlled it and didn't lose focus and patience.
Gary Cottrell.
Yeah. I don't care about their other titles. I mean, we lost.
They really got to sort out these press conferences. I mean, I did not hear the question. I mean, what is going on? Either you don't hear the question, you don't hear the answer. Sort yourselves out, man. Seriously.
Of course, a final. We gave everything in that final, as you know, and was a big match that went until the last penalty. And of course, we were unlucky and lost it. And of course, we want to turn things around. It will not give us the Carabao Cup title back, but we are here. We were here last season in the FA Cup final. We are again here. That means unbelievable lot to us, because it's FA Cup. It's the most prestigious, most traditional cup in the world. Maybe played at Wembley, so there are not a lot of bigger games to be part of, and that's why we are grateful, and we will be well prepared because we play against one of the strongest teams in the world which have an outstanding form, giving the results. So it will be a tough one, and we will try to make life hard for them.
James Robson.
I mean, can they not afford microphones? Seriously?
Absolutely. But okay, but we cannot promise. And I mean, all we can do now is to be well prepared because it will be another hard fight. I mean, given the quality and the run of form, the recent run of form from Liverpool, it's unbelievably difficult to beat them. But this is what the cup final is about. It is about winning, and we need to try to find a way to beat them. Need a bit of luck, and need, of course, everything at top level what we can have. And of course, it makes the season so much sweeter if you have at the end of a season a final that you can win. But as we all know, in a final, I mean, two compete against each other, and we experienced it last season and already today, this season, that sometimes you give you everything, and it can be not enough. But we will try to find a way, and if we do this, I think then we deserve it, and we want to deserve it.
Gentleman here.
No, he worked on and you know, it's like the players take care also about their place in the team. We had a bit of a change in formation up front, so he played against Southampton 2 games ago, and he played alongside Kai with Mason and with Kova around him, which he likes a lot, and he has a good connection. So that was maybe a bit the turnaround point for him. And he scored. He had big chances. He was decisive in Madrid. Could have been the hero. Was unfortunately not with the 3rd goal. But he was involved. He scored. He created chances and spaces. And again, he did today. So he had was very hard to find spaces today. Was very hard to be decisive. But he assisted the second one and. Like also for Mason, you know, it was impossible maybe today for him to have the influence that he normally has, to have the high rhythm of actions that he's normally used to, and it is good for his game. He stayed patient, waited, and finished with a lot of composure. So full credit to them. We have a lot of young players, and to do this all the time is very, very good for their development. And Timo is at the moment a huge part and takes care that he stays in the team.
Jacob.
Hopefully a big moment, because it was a big moment. But you see also in his celebration, it's nice, you know, he's normally a very calm, very, very quiet guy. And to see him like this and jumping and celebrating a goal, that is good, because like I said, he's the opposite of overconfidence. We need to install this confidence into his body and into his game. And these are the next steps for him, that he can absolutely feel how much influence he can have. Yet he shows everybody in the stadium his potential, and not only us on the training ground. So these are the next steps for him, and we will encourage him to do so. He absolutely deserved. Like Timo, he was now involved in every 3 matches since Southampton, Real Madrid, and today in goals. With assists and today with an opening goal, which was maybe already decisive. So very, very good.
Last 2, Tom, and then Dillo to finish.
Oh, is it? Today, N'Golo is okay, but we decided for Shorshi just in the mix. Because Shorshi was out against Madrid and was hungry to play this match. So season is not finished, and we wanted to also reward Shorshi and Aspi to stay part in this, and we needed also some fresh legs. So Angie is not injured, and you know, when Kova goes out, you know that he is in pain. He is in pain. The ankle is swollen, so it's he's a huge ankle right now, and let's hope it does not look so good. And let's see. Wait for the examination, then I can tell you more.
Last one, Dillo.
Cross.
Benedetta, viens à moi.
J'arrive, Seigneur.
Not so much, but it was. I didn't feel them so flat, and I think it was everybody's right to digest it, because we played Tuesday, right? From Tuesday to Sunday, which is awful lot of time for us, given if you look at our schedule, and we used it. We gave them a day off and trained in the next day in the afternoon. And you know, we gave them the speech after Madrid straight away, and I think they got a lot of positive feedback. But it was mixed feelings, because we won, got a fantastic result, we had a great performance, and still we were out in a competition where we wanted absolutely to stay in. So we gave them just time, and I can tell you on Friday I told you, but the training quality was excellent, and this was for me the very best sign. It's always the very best sign, but how the group of players who were, like, of course disappointed, but even maybe more disappointed because they didn't play, how they trained on the Thursday, like the players who were on the bench, and we took some guys from the academy into training, and like how they trained on Thursday, the mentality, the attitude, the joy, the quality in training, that was the best sign that I can see, because then I know that the group takes care about itself, and that we focused on the process, and we can focus on what we can influence, and this was excellent to see. So Friday, all the others came back. It was we trained with a full group, and the training was on such a high intensity and such a high level and such good atmosphere that I almost got scared that we did too much. So we reduced training yesterday in terms of intensity, because they were so hungry on Friday to be out there, and they really enjoyed it, and this was the best. These are the best signals. If the players who have disappointment in them, if they take care about the quality and attitude and discipline, intensity in training, this is what makes a group special. And this is what these guys do constantly, put their ego aside and just do what they love. And this is what I love in the end. Feels like amateur football at some point. It's just like for the love of it and being out there and having a good time in training with a lot of quality. And so we felt well prepared without having big talks about Madrid, because what could I tell them that makes go the pain away? Nothing.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Interesting press conference. He talked a lot about various different things, from training, preparation, mentality, mindset. There's a few points that I want to... sorry, I should get this label off. There's a few points I want to put to you guys, and you can answer them whichever way you want to approach it. But listening to the Chelsea footballers over the past couple of weeks, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek specifically today, I get the impression, and I get the sense of the hunger that these players have for success. Our players still have a lot of hunger for success. Even though they've tasted a lot of success recently, they still have that hunger and that desire. Ruben Loftus-Cheek specifically, the way he spoke after the game, I felt that this man has a lot of unfinished business with Chelsea, and he wants to achieve so much more. He expressed that, his body language and what he said. Thomas Tuchel talking about training and how the players are training so hard that he thinks maybe he's overdoing it, and he is, trying to reduce the amount of training because the players are training so hard. For me, this is something that isn't addressed enough, isn't talked about enough. Timo Werner has put in some great performances recently. He scored goals, he's created goals, and yet he was a player only a few weeks ago the entire fan base was looking to get rid of, me included. I wasn't happy with him. I wasn't pleased to see him at Chelsea Football Club. I have to, let's be honest. Now, we could all say, no, I was always backing him. No. No one was backing Timo Werner 2-3 weeks ago. Everyone wanted to see the back of him. Now he's putting in these performances. Everyone is thinking, are we overreacting? Are we judging these players too quickly? And this is what I want to ask you guys. Where are we with our team? Where are we with our performances? Where are we with our season? Because it's baffling the hell out of me. Other clubs, other teams at this point in the season, with everything that has happened, they would have disintegrated. Being so high up that table in November, COVID coming in, injuries and whatnot, coming out of the other side of the year, January, from being, in the clouds to trying to, keep the pace and maintaining top four. Sanctions, club being sold, and yet we are in the FA Cup final, and yet we won the World Club Cup, and yet we are comfortably finishing third this season. We are making a statement here, lads. Chelsea Football Club is making a statement. And it's sad that a lot of us, the fans, don't seem to see it. I just wanted to say that. And I'll open the floor to you guys to discuss.
Well, first of all, can I just say, right? First of all, if anyone at the FA is listening to this, invest in microphones for the media, because that press conference was an absolute joke. So I could only picture the questions being asked because of the way Tuchel could answer the questions. So straight away, invest in microphones for the media. In terms of the players that are playing for Chelsea, right? Look, you should always be striving for success when you play for Chelsea. But the one positive thing that I can say is the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who has been sitting on the bench, who has been loaned out numerous seasons. It's good to see him come in and put in a shift. It's good to see him play for the badge on the shirt. It's good to see that. Now, I'm not going to say that he should be staying because, look, he performed well today, and you could say he done a shift against Madrid. I need to see longevity, in my opinion, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, give Ruben Loftus-Cheek a 5-year deal and we'll see how he can put. No, let's see what he does if he plays more games this season. Let's see if he performs and keeps that standard. This is his standard. He should be performing when he plays for Chelsea like he did today. Scoring that one, what a hit, by the way. What a strike that was from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What a goal. And in terms of, and I reiterated this point in the group chat as well, when players are getting, stick left, right, centre, and I'm talking about the likes of Timo Werner, and I'm talking about the likes of Marcus Alonso, right? I think Lukaku's, he's not with it, is he? His head's not even with Chelsea, in my opinion. But players like Marcus Alonso, right? Look, yes, is he a defensive liability? Yeah, he is. But going forward, he's good. And see when he performs well, I want to see the people that slag him off give him praise. Because you need to have a level playing field, in my opinion, when it comes to criticism and praise. And the same with Timo Werner. 3 weeks ago, yes, we all wanted to see the back of him. and he's been performing the last week or so, yeah, against Southampton, against Madrid, and obviously today, for me, he was the man of the match today against Palace. So, see when people are quick to slag off these players, be quick to praise them as well. That's what I'm saying. You need to have a level playing field in terms of criticism and praise, in my opinion. So overall, it's good to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek come back and perform when he's been loaned out numerous seasons, but he needs to keep it up. He can't be performing now, and then against Arsenal, if he plays, be a 5 out of 10 performance. No, you need to perform consistently, in my opinion. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, listen, I second what Chris just said. Ruben, at one point during our season, when we were in a difficult situation, you have Kante injured, and you have, I think, Kovacic with COVID. We all thought Ruben would just take that midfield and just handle it. And as much as we've seen sign, he just didn't do it the way we wanted to do it. And yeah, COVID has hit us hard. That's why we lost the the title pretty much during December, November, and December. But I think if Ruben and Werner, who was missing goals, and if those two were to step up just to show some consistency back then, we will probably be maybe 1 or 2 point or even 3 point from the top of the league, and we'll still be fighting to win the league right now. So, do we just right now change Ruben and Werner names because we don't have anything to play for? I mean, I'm on top four, yeah, but we're already there, and we only have a FA Cup to play. Do we change their name now? Or I don't like what I'm seeing, and as much as I'm one of those that want Ruben to succeed at Chelsea, listen, man, when you're not injured and when you be given your chance, just take it. Show us that this position is yours. Nobody can take it away unless you are injured. But he just does not do it consistently. Like that shot that goal he scored today. How many times don't we hear even fight against between ourselves? Ruben run with the ball, see the box, but turn around, pass the ball. Ruben run with the ball, drive the ball the way he know. He's pretty much the only one. I mean, Kovacic sometimes, but drive the ball, resisting all those challenges, keep the ball between his feet. Ruben get close to that
That's
ball.
that's his first goal since his injury for Chelsea.
I
For
heard
3 seasons, 3 years, yeah.
3 years ago or something. That the last time he scored a goal for Chelsea or something. I mean, during his interview, that's what he said. It's crazy to see that quality, that strong guy, a ball. It's not even like that strong man that cannot hit the ball consistently. Today he jumped after celebrating that goal. He jumped higher than I think Ronaldo. But when we are on a corner kick, I've never seen Ruben jump that high. I mean, he scored a few headers with the, but he need to do that, dominate the game and just push people around and score goals. But we don't see it. Now there's nothing to play for. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little, but right now, what do we say? Ruben, what are you doing? Like, are you going to help us win the league? No, we're pretty much out of the league. Are you going to help us win the final against Liverpool? You're probably not going to start it if Kovacic is fit because you have not proven consistently that that position is yours. So at the end of the day, I'm confused also. But I'm happy. His statement. That's what Chelsea is about. Liverpool beat us first, and in the Carabao final, we need to beat them. They cannot be winning all four domestic, no, the three domestic and then the one Champions League. It does not make any sense. We cannot handle that. That's too much for us at this point. We need to win the final against Liverpool. And if will Ruben start? I'm not sure. What will be their performances? I'm not sure.
Sometimes I find myself wondering what I'm hearing. Wow. Look, the problem we have had at Chelsea was in the squad selection at the beginning of the season, which gave us an imbalance in our strength in depth. The problem started when we lost Chilwell to injury, then lost both Chilwell and James for a huge part of the mid part of the season. Timo Werner, I have to beg to differ. I have never spoken against Timo Werner this season. He's been doing well this season, but he too was out with COVID and injury, and that affected his game. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I have always been a massive fan. In my opinion, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is Chelsea's best midfielder. The problem with Ruben has been injuries, severe injury that forced him to go and have to find his strength again at Fulham. And then coming back, he has been having injuries and COVID. The guy needs confidence. And it just so happens that it's taken him more or less a full season to somehow come back and have the odd game here, the odd game there. What he did today showed us what he's capable of if he's injury free. Same with people like Pulisic. I don't understand why we don't understand that we have players, not robots. And when they are recovering from injury, they're not going to be performing as well as we would like. This is why you have squad depth. This is why you look at teams.
Bobby, 1 second. Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think our players are being forced back from recovery too soon?
Yeah,
Are we? Because I remember, a player would be injured and then he'd be coming back as a sub 2-3 games and then he would get a start. We're not seeing that anymore.
Know. Do you know why? Because we don't have squad depth. We overplay players. Why did Reece James go off injured? We played him over and over and over again because there was nobody else. We even went and switched him to the left. That's when he got his injury. We don't have the right amount of squad depth. It was proved at the Bernabeu when you compared the games we could change to the players we could change to the players Real Madrid could change. Look at Liverpool's squad even, and look at Man City's, the players they can bring off the bench. That has been our problem. We don't have a suitable left wing back to Chilwell. Yes, you may say that, praise Alonso whenever he plays well, and that's good, but ultimately he's not really at par. He's not the person to be there playing second fiddle or playing as backup or playing rotational with Chilwell. He's not quite good enough. Our problem has been our squad depth. We haven't given these guys enough time to come back from injury. Once they do, then you start to see what they can do. As I've said once on this platform, another problem we have is this get rid thing in our fan base. Oh, he's no good, get rid of him. Why? Who does that? You keep your best players. Send him out on loan. Oh, he's not going to have enough game time. Nonsense. Complete trash. Some of Man City's players don't even get a run out until December from the beginning of the season. This is why you have a big squad. This is why you're one of the most successful teams. I just think there's an awful lot of a lack of understanding when it comes to our players. And, there was a time even Kai Havertz was off form when he was off with COVID and he had a few semi-stinkers. He's a great player, so he doesn't have absolute terrible games, but he has a few semi-stinkers. And another problem we have had as a team, which hits us, is missing chances. Look what happened even today. Lukaku comes on and starts missing chances. Then it becomes infectious. Once he starts missing, Werner, that was playing a blinder, he started missing. You can't make this mess up. So I just think a little bit of patience, a little bit of allowing the team to find its feet, and you will start to see, and a little bit of injection of more quality players that we can rely on and not just put on the bench for numbers, vis-a-vis Saul, vis-a-vis Ross Barkley. I mean, what is the point of having those players? And yet we've got Conor Gallagher ripping up trees for Crystal Palace. I mean, it's crazy. Ambrosia, what's he doing at Southampton? Okay, fine. He's young. He needed that loan. But definitely next season, he has to come back to the squad. I don't want to see Chelsea fans having hissy fits if they see him come off the bench. Oh, what's he doing at Chelsea? He should go to Newcastle. Trash. It really upsets me. I'm sorry. It really upsets me because we are such a great side. And sometimes I think our own fans do us down.
It's difficult to strike a balance between, having patience and then, wanting to win every season, wanting to win all the biggest trophies. So I think some fans are willing to be more patient. Other fans, not so much. They want to win every season. They want to win the biggest, Premier League, Champions League. And when you have players who are coming back from injury, like you say, players who haven't necessarily fulfilled the potential, it's difficult to have that and then also expect Chelsea to win the Champions League, for example, or win the Premier League. So I think it's a difficult balance there, but I'm not going to use recent performances to then say, I was wrong all along. Maybe this player should stay, maybe that player should stay. I still think we should wait till the end of the season, and then maybe we'll have a better idea of what we should be expecting and who should leave and who should stay. I think Werner should start. Werner is good enough. Right now, he deserves to start every game, from what I've seen. But does that mean that he shouldn't get sold or he's now good enough for Chelsea long term? It's difficult to say. I don't think I can say that now.
Consistently, he needs to do it, yeah.
Yeah, he needs to do it more on a more consistent basis. So if he does what he's doing now until the end of the season, maybe I have a better, body of work to look at and say, you know what, he should stay.
Evening, guys.
You're right,
Good evening, Max. How are you?
How you guys? Yeah, through to the finals, so happy days. I just came on, so I just heard what Bobby's saying. Just want to add something. The maximum games that any team can play in a season is 66, and that's how. So Chelsea, having reached the final of the FA Cup, are going to be involved in 63 out of those 66 matches. That's with the World Club Cup and the Super Cup, etc. So we have played 63 games, and that's a lot of games,
Max.
And
I think we would
will
have
be
clocked.
playing, yeah.
We would have clocked 66 games worth of minutes because of the amount of extra time we played in amount of.
We've probably, that's what I was about to say as well. With all the extra time and penalties that we've had. When you look, when we played in the League Cup, I think was it 2 of those games went to extra time penalties in the League Cup. Obviously, we played Real Madrid, and that went to extra time. And I think in the FA Cup, we've had, is it 1 which was gone to extra time or 2? I can't remember now. But the World Club
Champions
Cup,
League.
The World
Champions
Club Cup
League.
as well.
Yeah.
One of ours went into extra time. So there's an awful lot of games that we've played this season. Yeah, but as Bob is, what that even makes it more alarming that the club, with the World Club Cup, people like Conor Gallagher would have got game time. So he should have stayed. It's not saying in hindsight or whatever. We knew how many games were coming, so you prepare for every eventuality. And that's what's messed us up this season, especially in the league. It's when we had a lot of those injuries.
Max, question to you, because I know this is controversial and certain people don't agree with this comment, but do you think we would have been better off with Gilmour than Saul Niguez in the squad?
Yeah, of course we would have done. Of course, because Saul Niguez has hardly played. Niguez, what he's contributed in those 63 games we played this season, 10 games maybe at the most, 15. He's out of the minutes. Has has he played a full 90? How many full 90s has he played this season?
I,
3 or
I don't
4?
think.
If that,
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 actually, Max. Not 3. At least 1 or 2.
yeah. I may be being
And
generous saying 3 or 4,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a wasted squad space in my
Yeah.
my eyes. That's just a
Money,
total waste of a
a
squad
big
place.
waste of money as well. A big waste
It
of money.
is, yeah, and it was a panic. It was a panic buy, and that's the thing. Some of the decisions that we made this season have been quite baffling. I understand what they're saying. That these younger players need playing time and everything else, but I think we've seen it. They don't always need playing time. We've seen it with Phil Foden. We've seen how he's come into the Manchester City side without having to go on loan. So you don't always have to send your players out on loan for them to succeed. And we had more than enough games this season for our players to be getting matches in. So I think I've seen something in the chat someone was saying about Billy lacks physical strength at the moment. Yeah, maybe, but remember when he held his own against Liverpool last season? If you remember in the cup game, he was man of the match. He bossed Fabinho and the other midfielders in that game. The reason why he's you're saying about the physicality, because I don't think he's strong enough to play every single game. At Norwich, he was playing a week in, week out.
He's not Max. He's not the finished article. He's not the finished article.
Exactly.
He's got a long way to go.
And at Chelsea, he would have just been playing here and there, maybe that's better for him to play him gradually ease him rather than playing him week in, week out. So had he played in minutes here, minutes there, and built up his strength and experience, then maybe that would have been the better way of his career progression. We don't know.
Always said that about Billy.
Yeah.
Always.
Mm.
That's the way for him.
Yeah. But
there's a comment here from Evan Jagger. Now I know Evan Jagger is a big fan of Hakim Ziyech, and Evan, رمضان كريم ومبارك عليك وعلينا. الله يتقبل الأعمال والصيام والقيام. You said, to be honest, I'm fed up with Tuchel regarding the involvement of Ziyech. Just when he was scoring and assisting in recent games, suddenly he stopped relying on him. I wish you address this. Listen, I'm going to let the panel to talk about this as well. But the thing is with Ziyech, I think he picked up a knock, which ruled him out from a couple of games. And also, when it comes to the way Tuchel approaches the games, Tuchel, if he's playing a back four, you will see him select Ziyech. If Ziyech is available and he's playing a back four, first player to be selected will be Ziyech. But in a back three, Ziyech hasn't been fantastic. He's put in a couple of decent performances. But in a back three, he struggles. And it's because of the way he is asked to play in a back three. A more narrow type of style doesn't suit Ziyech. Ziyech is better utilized wide on the touch line. And he seems to play better when he has less responsibility when it comes to tracking back. Now, when he's playing with a wing back, he normally finds himself that him and the wing back are up the pitch, and they both need to come back quite quickly. And when he's playing with a right back, there's more cover behind him. So Ziyech hasn't been dropped because he's a bad player or because Tuchel doesn't rate him. Ziyech has been dropped for tactical reasons. That's the way I see it. I mean, if the other panelists have a difference of opinion, let me know. But I think it's about the tactic that that Tuchel is employing on the pitch in regards to the formation, and that's what it is, in my opinion. I'll let the guys address it. I will start with Julius because he's not had a chance to come in on any of the topics yet. So Julius, welcome. What's your thoughts on this comment by Evan Jagger?
I think Tuchel kind of addressed this in the press conference, because if you notice how we've been rotating especially with the amount of games we had. And you have to consider also Ziyech is injury prone. So I think it's not that he's not relying on him. I think he's trying to protect him and to create a healthy balance in the squad. Um, but it's I don't think Aaron should take this that it's targeted towards Ziyech, because we've had an issue, and I said this last stream, is that we see patches of good form from all the forward players that we have. One moment you have Werner doing well, one moment Ziyech, and it's unsustainable. So that's very normal. You can't. These guys cannot play 60 or 40 or 50 games at the highest level consistently. It's impossible. That's why we need depth, and we're relying too much on them. The difference between us and City and Liverpool is very fine line. Is that they have a bench, we don't. As simple as that. We could have been competing on the league this year. You look at the overall performance this season. We were robbed in a League Cup final. I think Lukaku goal should have been counted. Liverpool went on, funny enough, scored the exact same goal and it was counted. It wasn't offside. A week later, you look at Real Madrid. Same. We were robbed, and we played unbelievable football. We just lack bench and a proper striker that we can rely on. So I don't think it's anything to do with Ziyech personally. I think there is no issue with Ziyech. He is a big part of Tuchel's plan. He has to protect him, because Ziyech gets injured really quick, though. Look at how many games we've been playing, right? So I would rather actually have Ziyech in the FA Cup final ready, whether start or coming from the bench, than not having him at all. Because he's someone, we've seen it before, who can score out of nowhere or create something out of nowhere. I want to...
Special player, but we need to... I think Tuchel uses him very carefully in specific tactics and specific formations, because Ziyech isn't as versatile as we thought he was going to be. He's a little bit more limited in the roles that he can be played. Well, at least that's what it's looking like right now.
Tuchel also mentioned something very important, is how Crystal Palace changed the way they play against us. And he's 100% right. Because Crystal Palace never played 3 at the back. And today they played 3 at the back. Even against City, they didn't play 3 at the back. So it was kind of a shock to the team, but we still were able to handle it well, to be honest. We were a little bit fortunate not to go down at least 1-0 first half, let's say. But we were too much for them at the end. We showed that we are the third best team in the country, and not that far from second or even first, to be honest. What we need to focus on going forward is how can we build the squad properly, because we have about 46 million pounds a year in wages that is absolutely wasted, and we're not getting enough returns from it. You look at it like as an investment. I said before I want Ziyech to be sold, to be honest, and I kind of regret that. But at the end of the day, we're not professional managers or scouts, so we say what we say, and we're wrong most of the time, you know. But when I look at Lukaku and Werner, even though Werner has done well recently, I don't think, as an investment, I'm saying it's not worth it. He's not delivering the way we expected him to 272,000 a week to score barely 10 goals a season, not good enough. And if you think about it,
Sorry, Julius, do you think he is starting to adjust, to adapt, and maybe it's taken him 2 seasons, a season and a half to get to grips with the Premier League, and maybe he's turning around and potentially could be one of the best players that we have next season, potentially.
I can't see it, because with half of those wages, you could potentially get a winger. Because look, Werner hasn't been playing a pure striker with us. He hasn't, right? So you could potentially get a winger that would get close, if not same, if not better, actually, numbers than him, and cheaper. And this again, we don't have full access to the financial situation at Chelsea, especially under a new ownership, and we don't know how this is going to look like. But if having Werner with those wages in the squad is going to jeopardize us signing good players that can be relied on, then I would not want Werner to stay. Same goes to Lukaku as well, and many of the other deadwood that we have. And also Mo Werner is not that young anymore. He's not a young player. I think he's 25, 26. You keep him until the end of next year, closer to late 20s, right? So it gets even harder to get rid of him. I think this is the right time, and this is the perfect time to actually get rid of Werner. And you know very well, I've defended Werner quite a lot before, and I used to say I have a soft spot for him, especially that he's a part of a Champions League winning team. But I want to win the league next year. It's been so long, and we are our own enemies. We need to build the squad properly before it's too late, and before we lose Tuchel.
Timo Werner is 26. There's a lot of other players available for free next summer. Dybala, Dembele, maybe bring one of them in and ship Werner, ship Ziyech. I don't know.
Can I say one thing real quick, and I'll conclude. I always personally, even at work, I like to look at successful examples of competitors, right? And what do they do that makes them successful over a period or whatever. And for me, when I look at football, I like to look at Real Madrid from time to time of how they do things. And people say Madrid is, very consistent. They have great success, great history, but they do because they do it for a reason. For example, if you ask me who should we bring, Dybala is a very good player. I love Dybala. Is he Premier League? It's a risk. You're gambling, to be honest with you. I don't know if he can handle it. He also gets a lot of injuries throughout every season. I think he spends a couple months injured. I don't want to get into that, even though I think he's a class player. What Madrid does, they buy proven players. Proven. We are a big club, aren't we? Currently still, we're European champions. We want to win more. We are ambitious. We are ruthless. We have a certain reputation. Why don't we do statement signings every summer or every other summer?
We have been.
Lukaku is not a statement signing. Don't get shot. Don't be carried away with the tag, because I could go and overspend on a 15-year-old car that is not worth what I paid for it, for example. 100. Yeah, he's 100 million. We have the financial.
Lukaku, when we bought him, Julius, he was one of the highest rated strikers in world football. Top 5. Maybe he's not top 5, but at least, you know, with the season that he had at Inter Milan, he was looked at as being one of the top 5 strikers in the world. And that's what we bought. That's a statement signing. The season before that, Kai Havertz, generational talent, 72 something million we paid for him. Statement signing. We have a marquee signing in us every window.
We did it one window under Frank Lampard, right? We did that. We haven't had a great window before that for a while, if you think about it.
Transfer ban. We had a transfer ban for one season, and then we had for one window. Then we had a winter transfer window, which we didn't do any business in. I mean, Chelsea don't really do a lot of business in winter.
Yeah, but I mean, last actually big transfer window we had before this one, before the one we had with Lampard, was under Mourinho, when we had Costa and Fabregas and all these guys, right? It's not that we're consistent. We overpay on a lot of bang average player, but let me tell you this: you just said something very important.
So you're saying the Ross Barkley Bakayoko window wasn't a big transfer window?
It was horrendous. And like Michael Hector, Papi Gibologi, Baba Rahman, many other, the list goes on. It was horrendous. But you just said something more very, very important, which actually does align with what I was saying. When we had a big transfer window under Lampard, what happened? We won a Champions League.
Yeah.
You know, we like.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but what I'm saying is, we do it, but we don't do it properly.
No,
see,
we don't.
I'll give you an example. Real Madrid have had a core spine in their team for quite some time. I mean, Sergio Ramos only left a short while ago, but you know he's been there for donkeys. Modric, Cruz, Benzema, the Snake. You know they've got good players that are there for quite some time. Chelsea are building now with that transfer window that you're talking about. From Frank Lampard, we've got the likes of Havertz, we've got the likes of Ziyech, Mendy to a certain degree, Ben Chilwell definitely. We've got some great academy players, you know, in Mount, in Reece James, in Chalobah and whatnot. But we need to build on that. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. The success that we're seeing, and I'll guarantee you, this team in a couple of years, with Thomas Tuchel, with a few additions, you know, every season to plug some of those holes, we have got a fantastic team. It's all about making this fantastic team into a fantastic squad, because right now, and I've said this over the past couple of streams, our problem is our depth. We don't have good, adequate replacements. You got Reece James, and then you got a massive drop when it comes to our next wing back. You got Ben Chilwell, and then you got a massive drop to Alonso. Okay, you've got Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante, and then you got a massive drop to Saúl Ñíguez, Loftus-Cheek, and others. You've got a massive drop from the start. You know, Lukaku, we don't have a striker, so we you know, it's a massive drop whichever way you look at it. Okay, Kai Havertz is not a striker, and you know, I hate to say this, but we cannot depend on Kai Havertz to be our striker next season. Kai Havertz is a fantastic player, a false 9, an advanced 10, a second striker, but he isn't equipped to be our main striker for an entire. And if you want to play him as our main striker, at least give him a good backup, because you can't have a £100 million striker as your backup. As in 100 million price tag rather than 100 million, worth of a striker, because he's not worth 100 million, unfortunately. And I mean, do we go with that, with Borja? I don't know. I mean, guys, this is open to everyone. Julius is also saying, but this is open to everyone. So yeah, I don't want to be taking time from everyone. But tell me what you think, because I'm a little bit confused about the season coming.
If you look at the market at this point, who is there for us to replace Lukaku? I just don't see any.
There is one player. Sorry, Boogie. There is one player that me and Bobby were talking about a few days ago. I'm trying to remember his name. Nunes.
Darwin Nunes.
Nunes. Yeah, Benfica. Darwin Nunes.
But
okay,
guys,
there are some good strikers out there. We just have to look for them.
Yeah,
and that's why we have a scouting department.
We need to be careful here. First of all, I hear what Julius is saying about trying to be relevant. Well, you got to remember, first of all, we are competing with some of the big teams. So if we want that marquee signing, we're competing. Like, for instance, Mbappe would be a statement signing, but then Mbappe has got a lot of clubs to choose from. And let's be honest, they are going to choose Real Madrid, Barcelona. A lot of the players are going to choose them before us anyway. So we are not going to get the creme de la creme. We can get the next crop. Yeah,
Max, do you think Barcelona still have that prestige?
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they still do. Of course they do. No, they do. They do. If they've got the money, they will. Yeah, they do.
No, of course, Max. I can understand Real Madrid, but if you actually look at Barcelona now, Barcelona are the most overhyped team.
is going to Barcelona for a reason.
Listen, if Barcelona get coming with money,
if you're telling me that Barcelona can pull players more than Chelsea Football Club in this current moment,
they can.
No, they can't.
They can.
No, they can't.
They can.
I can respectfully disagree.
We're being a bit arrogant to say that people would choose them. The English
Barcelona aren't the same club, mate.
It doesn't matter. It's the name. It's the name. I'm not arrogant to say, okay, we're a bigger draw. We're not. The reason why they're had to go for players like Aubameyang and people like that is because of the wage rates. If they somehow get the structure back and the money back, and they become a force again, if it's out of Barcelona and Chelsea, they're going to choose Barcelona. Those are the facts. We got to keep it real. Yeah, but
Max, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I mean, I'll give another example here. Right now, if we're looking at historic prestige, who is a bigger club, Manchester United or Chelsea?
United.
Yeah, but who is currently better is Chelsea. But United, they have that prestige, they have that aura around them. Yes, they're going through a terrible time right now, but they still have that, and that is the point Max is making in respect to Barcelona. So I understand that. But what I'm saying is, as a football player, I mean, this is as fans, as marketing, as spectators. As a football player, when you have a career, when you have ambitions to succeed, ambitions to win trophies, do you go to Manchester United or do you go to Chelsea? See,
at the moment,
this is the thing. Yeah,
because what I'm saying is, at the moment, if it's out of Manchester United or Chelsea, then they'll probably choose Chelsea. Why? Because Manchester United probably not even going to be in the Champions League, and they won't look at Manchester United. Barcelona are going to be in the Champions League. So first of all, what players do now is all about the Champions League. For the top players, they want to remain in the best competition in the world. So Manchester United are way out. Then if Manchester United, as soon as they get into the Champions League, he will get players. Man City. Remember when Man City were. Had they finished fifth that year when they got the money, then they wouldn't have got some of those players. They got in those players because they were playing Champions League football, and that would attract players. So I think that's the main thing, getting into the Champions League. If Barcelona fell well off the top and they were finished fifth or something, sixth, of course players will come to us ahead of them. No matter what their prestige is. But we got to be looking at we got to be realistic, and then we got to understand that we are not going to be competing with the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona for players. If we want Havertz, we were very fortunate with, because at the time we went for Havertz, Real Madrid and others couldn't get him at that time, so we sort of took advantage of the market as it was. I think the only player that we've got who other clubs were in for was Hazard at the time. Remember, Hazard had a pick of clubs, didn't he? And he chose Chelsea. Why? Because we won the Champions League. That's why last season, and I know that Julius talks about it quite a lot, and Bobby as well. Last season, that's when we should have gone for some top player, because we were champions. We were champions of Europe, yeah. And that is another draw, being the champions of Europe. Team players are going to want to play for the champions of Europe. We needed to show ambition last season as champions of Europe. You take that tag and you say, "Look, I'm going to be bold in the transfer market to get better." And I think that's what we did.
Haaland, it didn't work, and then
with the way Roman Abramovich is handling the sale of the club, do you think it would have been difficult for him to have got Erling Haaland last season? I think the reason why we didn't buy Erling Haaland is it isn't financial. It's principles. No, his agent. It's all about principles. His agent was pushing he was handling the deal in a very assertive manner. I'm not going to say it's aggressive. In a very assertive manner, where he was trying to make demands of Chelsea Football Club rather than negotiating, and that put Chelsea off. Financially, buying Erling Haaland, Roman Abramovich can do it with the change in his back pocket. Seriously. I mean, at the time, now it's a different situation, but I'm talking about last season.
Yeah, but last season, do you remember that Dortmund didn't want to sell Haaland? Did they really actually say no?
They put the price so high. They put if we paid a certain fee, they would have sold him.
Yeah, but can I remind you something quick? Dortmund said, go agree with Haaland agent. The agent said, go agree with Dortmund. That's what we're reading in German news. Is that Dortmund said, Haaland, we count on Haaland this season to stay in Champions League. And then when you go talk to Haaland people, they keep saying, oh, Chelsea knows what to do. If they put certain amount, what is the amount? Nobody wants to tell Chelsea. And you hear that you have to pay 40 million to the agent. You have to pay another 30 million to the family member. You have to do this. You have to pay 170 or 160 to Dortmund. But nothing concrete is coming out of it. That's why Granskaya all just be like, okay, forget about it. We just got Lukaku. Nothing really concrete came out of a Haaland discussion. They just turning Chelsea run and run and run, and they get frustrated with the whole deal. That's why they drop out.
Can I just say, look, Mo.
Wait, Chris, wait. I just checked how many likes we've had on this video, on the stream. And I'm shocked. I am shocked. We've been streaming for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it's 59 likes. What are you guys playing at? What are you guys playing at? I mean, I can count at least 100 people commenting on the stream. All right? There's 100 of you actively commenting on the stream. All right? 59 likes? Come on, lads. Seriously, sort it out. This is the Blue Lounge, the best channel on YouTube. You guys keep telling me that you love my content, you love my streams. 59 likes. I mean, I don't even know if I should let Chris continue. I mean, I should just end the stream right now, man. I'm thinking about ending. I'm gonna end the stream, man. Seriously, I mean, it's like, I'm here. I'm having a really shitty day today, and I've come on to do this review for you guys, and 63 likes now. Come on, let's make it 100 likes. Come on, go on, Chris, carry on.
First of all, I just want to say, well, with Max's points, I completely disagree, with all due respect, because, I mean, what's the point of going in for the top players then? Might as well just, going by his logic, we might as well just go for the players below that. But, look, in terms of the overall thing, yeah, I said it before in your streams, Mo, it's the squad quality. That's what it is, simple as that, because it's not a coincidence as soon as Liverpool start to improve their squad. We've got squad depth, but it's quantity over quality. We've got poor depth. That's what I'm saying. So as soon as Liverpool start to improve their squad quality, they start to compete for the leagues and the Champions Leagues and the FA Cups, and they start to do it across all competitions. With us, we bring off Kovacic and we've got a lackluster player coming on. We bring off Rudiger.
Wait. Hold on. Who came off for
The
Kovacic?
Leicester one, the guy scored the winner. The guy
No.
scored the
I'm just talking
opening
about
goal
overall.
for
I'm just using it as an example. If we play a game and we bring off the likes
Alright.
of Kovacic and that, we're bringing on. I'm not saying we should replace them like for like, but at least we should be bringing on a player that's decent enough to play for Chelsea Football Club. Simple as that. And the quality of this squad needs to improve. Simple as that. And if anyone disagrees with that and say we should just improve the first 11, well then this is where the problem's going to lie then, right? Because at the first 11, with everyone fully fit, the first 11 is good. But then look at the second team, look at the bench, it's poor. Simple as that. We need to improve the quality of the squad. That's the priority. And Tuchel will know that. So back Tuchel. Back Tuchel and back him and get the players that he wants to get. Simple as that.
Can I just say, I think what Julius was saying earlier was part of the problem. Chelsea looking for marquee signings, we've wasted a lot of money on marquee signings that haven't worked out, So I think that's part of the problem. Obviously, Madrid have done it and it's worked for them. I think Chelsea and Madrid are the only two teams that have done things in a similar way and been successful. So it's interesting to look at it like that. But for me, I don't think marquees, not saying that marquee signings are bad, but, instead of spending a huge amount of money on this specific player, I think if we, improve the scouting, we can do a much better job in terms of improving the squad depth and the quality of our squad, like what Liverpool have done to try and match Man City. So I think if we look for players like the signing of Kante, for example, that was a fantastic signing. We didn't pay a lot of money for him.
Yeah, but that was under Emenalo, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it was the scouting was better before, and we need to try and get back to that. Actually, acquiring talent and not having to blow, hundreds of millions of pounds all the time
on one player.
I think.
Player.
Yeah, good point. But the thing is,
well, go on, Max.
No, so I just wanted to respond to Chris's thing about what we were saying as well. And the thing is, we haven't really spent big on we spent big, but we haven't bought marquee signings. I said, Chris, I said about marquee signings. Who has been marquee signings that Chelsea have bought in the past? Eden Hazard, as I said, is the one who everyone wanted. Name me a player.
No, that wasn't my point, Max. You missed the point altogether completely. I said I disagree with you in terms of the fact that you said when we're going for the marquee, if we go for marquee players, you basically what I interpreted what you said, we might as well not go for that because the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona, those will be the go-to clubs. So
of course we'll compete. We will compete for them. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we'll compete for them. But are they going to be our first choice?
We can barely. Honestly, we can.
Why?
Why not? I mean, well, okay. So comparing it with Barcelona, I agree with the Real Madrid situation, but with Barcelona are a mess. Okay, so look, they're not the same club, right? They're not the same club they are. Look, I understand the prestige of winning Champions League, etc. But if you look at the state of their team, right? Come on, there's no Xavi, inexperienced manager. People are telling me he's the next best thing. Let me see it more on a consistent basis. Yes, he's got them. Yes, he's got Barcelona playing well. Let's see what they do next season, playing in multiple competitions. Let me tell you something, mate. Barcelona are a mess. They're not what they're made up to be.
But they're still Liverpool.
The City.
I can see Charlie.
Hold on. Listen. Both of you have a point. Max has a point. Chris has a point. In regards to prestige, in regards to history, Barcelona are one of the best in the world. In regards to ambition, in regards to potential achievement, they're not. And players going to Barcelona are chasing a paycheck. They're chasing, a title on their CV. Players that want to actually win trophies, they're not going to go to Barcelona. Not for the next few years, because Barcelona are in the mud right now. Straight up.
Also, the city is brilliant.
I wanna bring in MDT. I wanna bring in MDT as just say hello to him. Get his thoughts and opinions, and then we'll carry on. MDT Ramadan Kareem. How are you, my brother? I hope you're doing good.
I'm good. More Ramadan Kareem. Sorry, I just came back. How's everybody? How's Julian, Max, Bobby?
Hey, MDT, nice to see you, mate.
Is that, yeah, sorry, that's
I've
Bobby,
taken the name.
that's Bobby,
I've
yeah.
taken the names off. Yeah, so you got Bobby, Eric, Chris,
That's Bobby,
and Boogie,
Eric,
and Max.
yeah. Yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope everybody's okay. Family doing good.
MDT.
Good.
Yeah, all good,
Everyone's
thanks, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just before I go about the match, Mo, be careful about Barcelona. Don't underestimate them. This happened before when they signed Ronaldinho. They were in the mud. So don't underestimate that. They're owned by Catalonia. So
They're in the mud. They're in the mud.
Barcelona is never dead. Don't ever underestimate them. You
No,
just take
well,
it easy.
they're
They're
in the mud.
back.
They're in the mud.
They've been in worse position than this. Go and look at their history. They've been before in worse position like this before. They signed Ronaldinho. They came back and they were the king of Europe.
Yeah, but let's see
for
what
10
they
years.
do next season.
So they will do it again. Look at them. They're pulling things about. They're owned by a region, by a country. That's what people fail to understand. They're not that. Yeah, they're owned by a country, by a population. So it's not. It's a different scale. When they're in the mud, all they need to do, they can write that debt off if they are allowed to do it. It's only the Spanish government that's stopping them from doing it. Okay, and about Chelsea, for me, I think when I look at the squad, I don't think we have a bad squad. The thing we have a lot of players that don't fit the way the manager wants to play. So that's the difference between us and Liverpool, us and City. So you have a lot of players, if they're on other teams, they will do well. But at Chelsea, they have to play a certain specific way, which they can't do. They're not, like, it doesn't highlight their strength like it should be. Because if you put them in another team, that's for them, it will work. So that, for me personally, Tuchel should sign players that suit him. But the problem with that is, what about if Tuchel left? So he will leave us with players that only suit his system. So these are the things, it's a catch-22. So that's where scouting have to come in. You have to stop spending money on big-name players and things like that. The scouting have to be whatever. For me, when you look at the squad, I think you just need to get rid of 4 or 5 and replace them with 2, 3 buys and look into the loan players and the academy. Because you need to have cash reserve to compete. Especially we're not with Roman anymore. So you have to be smart now. It's your scouting, how you buy players. You don't go for big name players. You buy players that suit your system and improve your strength. You don't. I mean, for me, I look at the squad. It just reminds me of the Juventus squad. When I look at it, Kulusevski was struggling at Juventus because it doesn't suit the system, the manager. Betancourt wasn't a great player at Juventus. They let them go, but they suit the Premier League, the way they play, and they suit Conte. So these players, when they make it at the top, they're not bad players. They don't fit. When the fitting is not right, what you do, cut your losses, and replace them with players that can help you. That's the thing. For me, I look at the squad. We have players that we need to move on, but we shouldn't just sign a player because they're doing well. We have to see. The scouting has to make sure that player will suit our specific way of playing, our structure, and also not to sign them and give them ridiculous amount of money. Because most of these players we are linked with, they're on 40, 60, 70,000 pounds a week. They will come to Chelsea and Chelsea offer them 200,000, which I don't understand. And they will go to Liverpool. Liverpool will only offer them 90. And they will go there. So why are we paying twice all of the amount? So those are all things that need to, because Roman is no more. So we have to change the way we operate. So for me, that's all I look at. When I look at Chelsea, the new Chelsea have to be smart. That's my take on our squad.
I was going to try and say something about this, something I've been saying right from the beginning of the season, and that has been the poor planning. And in a way, you have to blame the director of football. Petr Cech hasn't really come up smelling of roses. He's there, we love him, we love what he's done, but he clearly needs help because the
He's
lack
not a
of
director of football,
purchase.
though, Bobby. Sorry,
Sorry?
Bobby. I don't want to interrupt. Don't want to interrupt you, but he's not actually the director of football.
So
That's
what
not
is
his
he?
role. We
What
haven't
is
An
got
he?
one.
advisor, right?
He's advisor or something. Well, I can't remember the exact role, but he's
Technical
not a
advisor
director.
or something. I can't remember the name.
He's a
Technical advisor.
technical advisor.
Technical
Yeah.
advisor, football director, they're not one and the same. Anyway, you know what? He can stay as technical advisor. Since it's a different position, we need a director of football. Because you see, what we should have done was indeed invest in Jules Koundé. If we had invested in Jules Koundé, we wouldn't have had the right back situation we've had when Reece James was injured, and probably some of the centre back situations we've had when people like Chalobah were injured. Now, if
Bobby,
I
sorry, can I interject again? Sorry, I don't want to do this, but I just want to interject again, just to give you some context behind the Jules Koundé situation, is that we kind of had him in the bag, and it was Sevilla who moved the goalpost last minute.
Yeah,
The
I
mistake
And that's
that
why we're
we,
so
the
comfortable
I
as
mistake,
well.
know that.
the
I
mistake we
know
made
that
was getting rid of
Zuma.
Zuma
Zuma.
before this deal was tied up.
The,
But
the, mis-
that's
the
yeah,
mistake
but
we made, the mistake we made, Max, was trying to be too clever. We faff about too much.
But
If
they
you,
did agree on a
if
price and they changed last minute. It's just like
yeah,
if you're buying a house
we should have
But
and
snapped
you
him
agree
up.
on a house. No,
We
but
should have.
we did agree, but once we went in, then that's why I said no,
Well,
we're
let me
asking for
finish.
more.
We should have snapped him up when we had a deal, and then got rid of Zuma. We waste a lot of time. I've always said this, and one thing I hope with the new owners, we'll have people that can make decisions and get on with business rather than waste time as if they're shopping for a pair of shoes. That's one of our mistakes. Another thing is that we should have got hold of Chomeni when he was cheap. Now, if you look at Real Madrid went and brought in who's that guy from Ren?
Camavinga.
Camavinga. What's Camavinga doing there? Camavinga is busy understudying Tony Cruz and Luka Modric. He's coming on here and there. He's growing into their system. This is exactly what Tchouaméni would have done if he had come to Chelsea, if he'd had half a brain, and put him in there to start to grow and learn from the likes of Kante and Kovacic and co. I am still also a firm believer in Loftus-Cheek. With someone like Tchouaméni and Loftus-Cheek, who, if in Tchouaméni's presence, would have had time to regain fitness without having to be rushed back in between COVID and other muscle injuries to just struggle. If we had that strength in depth, that would have helped us a great deal in the midfield. We would have been better off making an investment in the left wing back position to back up Chilwell, and if we need to get rid of somebody, sold Alonso, than wasting 97 point whatever million on Lukaku. That was a mammoth mistake. And any director of football would have seen, look, this guy is not good enough. He's too expensive. And there are other cheaper, better options that will fit Tuchel's system a lot better. That Lukaku was the panic buy of all panic buys. And it came from pure ignorance. We did not look or do our homework when we got this guy, if there was any homework to be had. So we are where we are. In a way, it's a good thing we're having a clean slate because believe you me, these new guys coming in ain't going to waste money. And if they find that you're not financially viable, they will get rid of you and find someone who is. Fortunately, they're taking over a club that doesn't have debt, but they're putting in a huge amount of money and they will want their return, both eventually, both in gate takings and in success. So, you know, I think it's a bit of a clean slate and a fresh start, and the summer hopefully will be interesting for us.
Yeah, listen, I agree with most of the stuff Bobby said. Bad planning. The truth is, we're not getting Kunde. I don't think was a big problem because Chaluba step up, and that's Chaluba wasn't even part of the Tuchel plan at the beginning. And
It
when
was
we
a
didn't get
problem when Reece James got injured.
still, if, I'm pretty sure if we got Kunde, Chaluba will not be in the team right now. Chaluba will probably be on loan, and we will be Zuma will be sold to West Ham. So it will still be the same thing. When Rich James get injured, then we'll still have a problem in that position, anyways. Because Chaluba was at one point was one of the best prospect in the team, prospect, but he's pretty much one of the best targets in our team. So I don't really regret the fact that we didn't get Kunde. My biggest issue, to be honest, is the wing back. Because Tuchel's system relies heavily on playing those wing back. But for some reason, the planning did not go that way. I mean, someone probably start telling me we're trying to get the Moroccan international, but he decided to go. But we should have find a way to have a backup for both.
Boogie,
Yeah,
you're talking about Tuchel relying heavily on the wing back, but we're also seeing Reece James, our best wing back, being played as a central defender, a right-sided central defender. Why is that?
He
yeah,
played
but
in midfield today for
no, no,
large
but
parts
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
he did,
game.
yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing about
I know
Tuchel's
he
system.
played there
We see that
because
last
he
year. Why don't we always say last year, but Tuchel's system during the game, Tuchel the system just kept changing. Rhys James can play not only as a wing back, he can play as a left center back, oh no, the right center back, and can be a defensive midfielder. So during the game, Tuchel can just ask them, "Can you move into this position a little to help? Can you do that?" That's what it is. So I don't see why we should be shocked to see Rhys playing as a center left, or center back. It's not a problem. My issue is when we need Tuchel has to always have that availability to have someone good enough to replace Chilwell in case Chilwell is injured. Alonso was there, and I just feel like Tuchel didn't have the gut to trust Alonso certain time, and I was really frustrated with it. So at the end of the day, the planning was not good, yeah, but the player we have in the midfield, that's where my issue is. Ruben, I will say that again. When Ruben has the chance to take that midfield and just make it his, he did not. Right now, he's just doing crazy stuff, playing really good. Real Madrid, the two Real Madrid game, he played as a wing back or left, or whatever, left midfield or whatever you want to call it. No, right midfield or whatever you want to call it. He played really good. And today, exceptional. But is he consistent enough to be part of this Chelsea team? I'm not sure. Up to now, I'm not sure. And we also have Conor Gallagher coming back. Yeah, I know he can sit on the bench, play 12 or 15 or 20 games in the season. There should be enough for him for the high top level that Chelsea always play, or for the all the cup we've been chasing. Yeah, Conor Gallagher is coming, but Ruben, that kid, as much as I love him, need to start standing. He need to play. He's 27. He need to take games and win it by himself. If he cannot do that, man, guess what? He's gonna have to sit on the bench, and he frustrated me so much, him and Werner, because I still think if those two step up back then when COVID has hit, because both of them were not hit by COVID, we should not be. We should be closer to the tight table as today.
Sorry,
That's
but
my,
they
just a
were
couple
hit
of
by
things.
COVID. Both
Yeah,
of them had
just
COVID and injuries.
Yeah, just a couple of things to address on that one. First of all, Reece James. The reason I think Tuchel played him in that position today was to nullify Zaha, and I think I've just taken him out of Zaha's pocket a few minutes ago because he is, Zaha's, as you know, is a very tricky, pacey guy, and he dealt with him superbly today, and he's got that in his locker because he's quite versatile, Reece James. Bobby's kind of said what I was going to say on the Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You've been a bit unfair on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, when he's been fit and he's had a lot of good games. Thomas Tuchel rates the guy. You know, the problem with Ruben is because of his injuries, and that's the thing. I don't think he'll probably be able to play 5 or 6 games in a row. He's never. I don't think he's only when he was at Crystal Palace. He had a number of games in a row, but his body cannot take it, especially after the Achilles heel injury as well. He's had injuries throughout his career. Had this boy had a full bill of health, then he would be a world beater because he's got everything in his game.
Can I ask you a question, Mark? Sorry for cutting. I didn't mean to cut you. So
That's fine.
if Ruben, because of a physical limitation, cannot give us what we need from him, why is Ruben in the team then? Listen, I'm not asking Ruben to be sold or anything.
He's not in the team though. He's in the squad.
Talented. Yeah, but everybody keeps saying if he was not injured, he will have been the one that will take this team to the next level, or he will do more than. If he is limited, he cannot do it. Then why is Ruben still in this team? Just let him go. All right.
Well, I don't think
Eventually,
that's a
we may have to
solution,
take that hard decision and do that. But
Okay.
Well, the
But,
answer
yeah, so-
you answered
Yeah,
it, man.
but
He's not in the team. He's in the squad. It's
yeah,
a
he's part
squad
of the squad.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this
But-
he should be playing. He's not going to be playing week in, week out. It is a squad game. He doesn't play every game. What are you talking about? I don't.
Bobby,
those
I
things are too
disagree. I
difficult to
disagree again.
understand.
It is a squad game. Ruben is not playing 65 games a season. Ruben plays 7 games consecutively, and he has to sit out for maybe 2 or 3 months. That's what Ruben is.
That's
So
when
I'm
he's
just asking,
injured.
when Ruben plays 7 games, 7 games, I want Ruben to take that game and just be the one driving the entire team and score goals. He's not doing it when he's in form also. When he's physically in form. Someone's telling me no, even physically in form, he is limited. Then what is he doing in our team? Again, I will add, I love the kid. I like him to stay. But he's not doing it for me. He's just not consistent enough. That's my problem.
in that holding midfield role, our 2 holding midfielders, Cover, Kante, Georgie, and whatever, how many of them score goals? So why are we expecting Ruben to do more than them? And secondly, Ruben is judged. Yeah, I know he's talented, whatever. I judge him because of that talent. Okay, but even Tuchel said it today, or even yesterday as well, about his physical issues. He doesn't even trust his own body, because the thing is, when you don't trust for me personally, if Chelsea let him go, I can understand, but for his career, okay? But guess what? To replace a player, it will cost you. To a squad player, for Chelsea to have another squad player, we will have to spend money. Do we have money to be spending on squad player? Look at even Saul as a squad player. He's earning nearly 200,000. So if Chelsea get rid of Ruben because of his physical limitation, he's only playing 7 games or whatever. Okay, to replace Ruben with another squad player, how much is it going to cost us in transfer fee and wages? So these are things that all clubs look at. Look at Liverpool. They have Keita. You know Keita? Keita has been in Liverpool almost 4 years. Is that injury issue upon injury issue? But they know that the talent is there. Do you think Liverpool will just get rid of Keita to replace him? Keita cost them almost 60 million. So
And that
this
boy
is the thing.
Oxlade as well. Oxlade
Chamberlain
He's a
as well.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
You
It's a massive money. You get rid of Ruben, it's going to cost us a lot of money to replace him.
There's a key point here that we seem to be overlooking when it comes to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. How many players in our squad can play in every single position on the pitch?
Yep.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be able to assist in multiple positions, and he can do a very good job in every single one of those positions. He might not be the perfect holding midfielder. He might not be the perfect winger. He might not be the perfect wing back. He might not be the perfect central defender. But you know what? He's pretty good at all those positions.
Yep.
And in a season where you have a lot of injuries, a lot of problems, you need to have a player like that within your squad. Now,
Exactly.
the problem with that is you're going to get that player being asked to do multiple different roles. Therefore, his statistics are going to be lopsided. He's not going to be the best assister in the team. He's not going to be the best goal scorer in the team. He's not going to be the best tackler in the team because he doesn't do all those roles every single time he's on that pitch. He has to do a different role every time. And to be fair to the man, he has been able to prove himself in roles that are not his norm. When has Ruben Loftus-Cheek been known to be a wing back or a central defender? But he's doing it, and today he, and again I didn't see the game, but from what I've read and from what I've heard, he was a big factor in changing the game in the second half, and his goal.
Can I add something?
Yeah, I'll let you come in, Boogie. Just his goal, his performance, and like I said to you, his attitude. His attitude is key because this individual wants to succeed at Chelsea Football Club. He doesn't want to succeed elsewhere. He wants to succeed at Chelsea Football Club. Right? That shows heart, determination. That shows factors that you need within your squad because that kind of attitude rubs off on the rest of the team. And that's the kind of player I want to see at Chelsea. Now I know, he's had his ups and downs, but like I said, he has that attribute, in my opinion, one of the best attributes you need within our squad, and that is his versatility. That he can play in multiple positions and do a good job in all of those. I'll let you come in now, Boogie.
I agree with the versatility. He can play different positions than be an average player. And certain time when he's in the midfield, just do magic and do it. Against Real Madrid, he played really good. Today in the midfield, when he came in, he was one of the driving force, and he scored our goals. Yeah, but this is Chelsea. This is about having world class player in different positions. Average player being able to play different positions. Yeah, help the team. Like Bobby said, it is a team sport. But when it comes to winning the league, Ruben needs to reach that top level, which he hasn't reached in that midfield position where we need bodies. When we get him bullied by Liverpool, when we get him bullied by other teams, Ruben performances Ruben performances in that midfield lacking a lot. Most especially when we need
Disagree.
in December and January, when Ruben had that lassitude to take that midfield and make it his. So again, when
December and January he had COVID and injuries.
Bobby, before you came in, when your coach is using you in different positions, it just shows that in fact you're not as good as you think.
No, it just shows he's versatile.
No, it doesn't. He shows he's versatile. That's nonsense. And listen, remember that second half versus Man City when he came on, and that's when we started to look better against Man City. You remember that game?
Which game was that? I can't remember.
When we played Manchester City, and he came on, and all of a sudden our midfield started to compete, and we pushed them back, and it was after his introduction.
No, but I think Tuchel changed the system also.
Give the guy a bit of credit. He came on and he looked good in that game. He's okay. as listen. You're the manager next season, and you're getting rid of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Who are you going to replace him with?
Okay, that's why you don't understand my point. I'm not planning of changing Ruben, but my point or selling Ruben or anything. I want him to stay. I don't even want him to be the captain. But I just think Ruben frustrated me so much that at this point, I don't even know who, his performance today or the last 3 games. I'm pretty sure we're going to the next 3 or 4 games. Ruben is not going to be nowhere to be found. That Ruben, we won't see it, which is a problem. Then someone will tell me, it's because
yes, but coming off the bench, he can make at least a bit of an impact.
That's my biggest problem. He's had more good games this season than he's had bad games, I think.
Okay.
And he's had a lot of games this season.
Yeah,
he's a bit like James Milner for Liverpool, another one that comes off the bench and is in the squad.
And
You're
versatile.
not making a good point on this one, Boogeyman. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I
Villa-
don't want James Milner in Chelsea. I want each position. I want top quality player
Yeah,
in
no.
position.
Right, look,
I don't
yeah,
want
I'm
James Milner.
Boogeyman. I understand what you mean. Like, is he the top name? No. But in terms of with Chelsea, like my only issue is I want to see it consistently. I'm not going to go on the last 3 games. The last 3 games, yes, he's done good. Max should go on mute, Max.
Is that my mic?
Max.
No,
Oh, sorry.
Right, go on. Right, no, basically, I need to see it on a consistent basis, right? No, do I expect them to start? I don't expect them to start. I expect them to come off the bench like he did today. And I think being a very versatile player in a squad is very, very key because in any game, anything can happen. And to know that you can have a player that can play in most positions is key to come off the bench, in my opinion. So for me, I just need to see more. I want to see more, and obviously, I'm not going to say, I've not seen more of him because he's been injured. That's not his problem. At the end of the day, some players are injury prone. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been that, and he's obviously, as Bobby said, he suffered from COVID and different things. So I'm not going to judge him on that. I'm going to judge him when he's fit and when he's given the opportunity. I want to see more of today in the games that he gets the opportunities in. That's my whole point on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Do I want him to stay based on if he can do consistent performances? Yes. And the versatile thing, that's a key trait because, as I think it was Bobby that said as well, James Milner is key for Liverpool. Left back, centre mid, he can play a whole range of positions. So, yeah, I think a versatile player is key for the squad. But I just want to see more consistent performances from these players.
Boogeyman, question to you. Who is a better player, Ruben Loftus-Cheek or James Milner, in your opinion?
I would say James Milner from Liverpool. Yeah.
James Milner is a better player with his age, with his physicality, with his ability. He's better.
So you would take James Milner over Loftus-Cheek?
Yeah, I will just put it because that second goal we conceded against Real Madrid, Vinicius Junior, when he got that ball, when the ball was floating between N'Golo and Ruben, that's where I keep saying Ruben is lazy. That ball, if Ruben just do a small effort, it doesn't take that long.
What do you mean in the first leg or the second leg?
Effort, Ruben will take control over that ball. But because it was N'Golo Kante who used to pretty much do everybody's job or helping all of them, he just pretty much slow.
What goal are you talking about? Is it the second leg?
And then the Real Madrid player could take the ball. And it's not the first time we see those with Ruben. Every time Ruben has to do a little more, he pretty much walking. I'm not saying the kid is not good, but now something is missing. I just don't see
so he's not Chelsea standard, in your opinion?
At certain games, he just overperformed. He showed more than what it is. It's just his standard. But
he's not lazy.
No,
he could get fitter. He's good. I think that in that game we could have taken him off in that game because he was
a player.
This guy's clearly not
a player who's lazy. A player who's lazy would not have that injury and come back to the level that he has come back to. That injury is a career-ending injury. Career-ending injury.
When I say lazy, I don't mean it like literally in the definition of lazy in English dictionary. I'm just saying, sometimes you're tired. You're running on the pitch, you cannot breathe. But when you see a ball and you know you're winning 3-0, and you know that if those guys, if they score one goal, panic at home, just you have to do
man,
more.
I want to ask you a question. Who's more lazy, Loftus-Cheek or Lukaku? No, serious question. I
want to answer that one.
Boogerman does have a slight point about Ruben Loftus-Cheek actually, because I remember when he first came to the side and Mourinho did say that with the ball he was good, but he had to do more work when he hasn't got the ball. And I think the problem with Ruben was that because he was such a physical specimen in the youth team, he didn't have to try as hard to get the ball back because he was bigger than a lot of those younger players. And so, if you look at the likes of the Mason Mounts and people like that, they didn't have that physicality as well. So their off the ball work was a lot stronger. But I think when he came into the first team and sort of moving up to a different level, then you've got to put in a bit more work. So I do think that he could sometimes do a bit more work off the ball.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah,
go to a different topic. I'll let MDT start us off on this topic.
yeah. Mark,
We have
sorry,
we
so
have we have um, we have progressed to the final. The final is against Liverpool. James Milner's team, Boogie. We have qualified for the final of the FA Cup. Now, I want to know your expectations. I mean, we will be doing a match preview. We will be doing a show on this game, but I want to get your expectations in how you think this game is going to pan out. What do you think the result will be? What do you think the tactics will be? Give me a quick summary, and we'll start with MDT.
yeah. Sorry, Mo. Just before I jump into that, I was gonna answer Max. Max, don't you notice maybe because of not only Ruben, even Rhys James, when he's tracking back, is slower than when he's going forward. It's the body type. That body type, if you push it, you very rarely see a player with those type of type running that
Yeah,
way.
you got a
You
point. Yeah, you
rarely
got a
see it.
point there. Yeah,
So,
because your
so
Toure was
we
like that as well,
we
wasn't he? I think so.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't understand
yeah.
why when you're comparing players, you have to compare them in the same whatever. You can't compare somebody that look different to the other person
Yeah,
because
I think that's why I
the body
mentioned
type isn't.
physicality as well. Yeah,
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 Yaya Toure doesn't track back that way because of the struggle to run back the same pace. The same with Rubin. The same with you. Saw any player with that type of body type, even Rhys James, is the same thing. You cannot track back that way. It's just naturally they don't do it. It's nothing to do with anything being lazy. Even like, what's the name of that Swiss guy, Zakaria at what's his name at Juventus now?
Dennis.
Casino,
It's the same thing.
Dennis.
Juventus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's the body type. They can't run as fast as people think. With the ball, they can. But without the ball, they struggle. They just struggle. Okay. About the FA Cup final. The problem is, for me, I will say this today. Okay. As much as I love Tuchel, some games that we lose or we draw, it was his selection. Okay. Because the FA Cup against Leicester, that was on him. Okay, Mount missed a chance or whatever, but that was second half or whatever. The game, the players he chose, whatever. Yeah, a player can do very well in the semi-final or was good at whatever. But when you have a matchup, it's better to play certain matchup. Like Real Madrid, the first leg, we also Christensen always struggle against players with pace, whether it's Sadio Mane, any player with pace, he always struggle against him. You have a Chalobah on the bench, but you choose Christensen. Okay, so yeah, we have individual errors that happen there, but sometimes managers overthink stuff. Guardiola does that all the time. So if Tuchel picked the right team, we match Liverpool. Liverpool, we have our team match up with Liverpool very well. We have players that match up with them very well. He has done it before. Liverpool always struggle against us. It's always tight games. Okay, but if he goes and picks somebody like Christensen against Mane, forget it. We're gonna lose. I'm telling you, we will lose. Things like that. Those little things. It's up to the manager to pick the right players that will match Liverpool's system. But if he goes and pick a player that's on form or whatever, forget it. It's just a matchup issue. We don't match up very well with City, but with Liverpool, we match up very well against their system. So for me, this will be the manager's call to pick the right team for Liverpool. Not to pick a player because of they're on form or whatever. You pick a player that play well against specific players or type of players. Then the rest you see. I don't believe that he will overthink it. But sometimes he overthink these games and then put players in that are wrong match. Like as soon as I saw that Vinicius against Christensen, I'm like, today is a nightmare because he is scared of players with pace. It's not his fault. So for me, it's on the manager to pick the right team, and we'll have a good chance. It will be 50-50. That's my take on that.
Anybody
Can
else want to give
I?
me? Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Can I go? I
yeah, yeah.
don't think really it's the starting 11 that are the problem. It's in fact how the coach react facing whatever is going on the field. That's where my issue is. Referring to that first leg of quarterfinal, yeah, the first half we see what was going on. They were just sitting, hit the ball to Vinicius, who is always open, and 1v1 with Christensen. That's a nightmare. And nobody, most of the time when we're running in our tour our camp, nobody tend to pick Benzema. And Tuchel didn't read that. We all, it was more me and Podfather here was fighting on the chat on that. We saw that way back there. So, and the other thing is, whatever starting 11 Tuchel pick, like when we play in the second leg, I will never would thought to have Werner in that team. He put Werner in it, and we all just like, okay, because Werner performed good against Southampton, that's what it is. And then what Werner showed us, amazing. So the starting 11, he can get it right against Liverpool. Is when we're winning 3-0 against Liverpool, 2-1 against Liverpool, or whatever, he has to make sure to know where or what kind of modification he has to do to keep that those score line. And Tuchel tend not to do it. That's my biggest issue with Tuchel. Take action during the game. Whether it is first half, second half, Tuchel just tend not to do that most of the time. The player will do what they can do. The player tends to most of the time put that in a good situation, but they need help with tactical changes. Tuchel, I'm pretty sure before the game starts, him and his team will sit down and go through different scenario. What if we win in 3-0? What do we do from there? That's exactly the situation that happened in Real Madrid. He was completely lost. He didn't know what to do. And that was the thing that frustrated him when it comes to Tuchel. So I think against Liverpool, if you ask me, are we going to win? I think we can because the motivation is on our side. We want to win it. We don't have anything else to win this season. I mean, top three, if you call it winning something, yeah, good. But I think that's the last cup we can win in this season. And this season, if that does not motivate you against Liverpool, that took one cup away from us, against all the system, VAR, or you can call it. That's the other thing. A lot of Chelsea fans tend to give reason or excuses. VAR is against us. Referees are against us. This. Yeah, they are against us. But what if we get the games in our hand 3-0? What exactly the scenario? What go into consideration in the bench? What exactly the coach has to do? Bring James, bring Chalobah in, and lock the door. You know, if they score one goal, we go to penalty. If they don't score, we win it. Instead of sitting down there and just keep attacking, and open the game to Vinicius and Benzema. That's crazy for me. I think Tuchel needs to study those scenarios. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's doing it. He's a better coach than me. I'm just a fan talking. But that is my worry the most. I think we will better Liverpool. We will have our chances. But Tuchel needs to get his tactics right. That's my problem now.
Yeah.
What MDT was saying.
My expectation on it is like the last times we've been to Wembley. Look, I've always expected us to win, and obviously it's not been the best place the last couple of seasons, as we all know. Yeah, against Arsenal, against Max, go mute, mate. Against Arsenal and against Leicester last season. Yeah, and then look. So what my expectations is, my expectations is always to win, and when we go into this game, considering it is as the only trophy we can play for this season, we're not in the Champions League anymore, so this is it. We should be motivated for it, and we should be. You know, it's as I say, it's the last trophy we can go for. I don't think it's going to be a one-sided game. I don't think it's going to be Chelsea's going to dominate. I don't think it's going to be Liverpool's going to dominate. I think it's going to be a similar game to the last three games we've played them this season. The 1-1 at Anfield, the 2-2 at Stamford Bridge, and obviously the League Cup final, which we should have been walking away with the trophy. But the big issue why we didn't walk away with the trophy, there was two issues. One was the referees, but I'm not going to go into that because Lukaku's goal got wrongfully disallowed. The second thing is we do not take our chances. Mason Mount missed two clear-cut chances that game. He hit the post and he missed an opportunity that Mason Mount should be putting in the back of the net. So for me, when we get the opportunities, we need to take them. I keep repeating myself. I feel dizzy repeating myself every single game. Every time we get an opportunity, I'm not expecting us to score every opportunity, but I at least expect us to score the opportunities that we've got this season. I mean, even the game today, Mason Mount was getting opportunities. He got the ball and he kept blasting it over the bar. Stop trying to go for a screamer. Stop trying to score a good goal. Just being intelligent with the ball. Stop smashing it over the bar all the time. So when we get the opportunities in the box, whether it's Mount, whether it's Havertz, whether it's Ziyech if he plays, Pulisic if he plays, Lukaku definitely. When you get the opportunity to put Liverpool to bed, you do it. And this is what I'm saying. So my expectation is, do I think we'll win? Yeah, because I think that extra motivation will push us on. But we just need to be wary of obviously Liverpool's quality as well.
Yeah, I was saying like what MDT was saying. I think we've got the measure of Liverpool. You know, I'm more comfortable going into a final facing Liverpool than I would had it been Manchester City, because even if you look at the Anfield game, we were the better team in the first half. Even with 10 men, I still think we created some of the better opportunities in that second half. And at Stamford Bridge, for the first 25 minutes, Liverpool on top. Then arguably we should have been 3-2 up in that first half. Remember, Mason Mount missed that chance right near the end when we came back to make it 3-2 just before half time when he dragged it wide. And then I think when at Wembley, we shaded it at Wembley. I thought the clear, Mendy made some good saves, but we had the better chances. As Chris said, Mason Mount's one where it was clean through. He should have buried that one rather than hitting the post. So there's been nothing to separate us. It's not like we've been outplayed by Liverpool. We've been hanging on. I think if we look over the 3 games, I'll say that Chelsea shaded it on chances over the 3 games. I agree with Boogie as well when he says get your tactics spot on, get your personnel spot on as well. You know, if Werner's still playing and in form, then again, Wembley, he likes playing on the big pitches like Wembley today. He had a good game. He had a good game at the Bernabeu the other day. And if he's still in form, you pick him because Liverpool play a high line and this guy can exploit the high line. So if he's confident now and scoring goals, then yeah, we can do it. But with everything, like I always say in big finals, all I want is a good match and us to put a good account of ourselves, because we don't want any controversial decisions. We've had two years running now where we've had controversial decisions which have gone against us. I want it to be a clean game. I don't even want it to. I'll take it if there's a controversial decision going for us, but I wouldn't want to win that way neither. I want to win fairly, and no team has ever lost 3 in a row at Wembley before. This is our 3rd in a row at Wembley, so let's not have that unwanted record. So I think, yeah, we can do it. The hunger's going to be there. The desire's going to be there. The players are going to want to win a domestic trophy. And the thing is, we have to save football, because we can't have Liverpool win the quad. Can you imagine that? It would be unbearable. So it's up to Chelsea to save football. So, it's on us. Everything is on us, guys. So we need to do it, And because I'm thinking of getting rid of my Sky subscription. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting rid of my Sky subscription anyway, because of this loving with Liverpool. Seriously, I haven't watched Sky Sports for about 2 weeks. I haven't watched it. No, I'm on a Sky Sports ban for about 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't watched it because I just fed up all this.
No, honestly,
Liverpool
why was Jamie O'Hara there? Seriously, Jamie O'Hara, right? Look, I know it's hard to make it as a footballer, but that guy should just be a comedian. There's no chance that guy should have been a footballer. He was a failed footballer at most. He claims to be a sports legend. What did he achieve? You know what I mean?
He's still fuming because Leon Knight.
He played for a comedy club, Tottenham, so that's why he's a comedian.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
But you know why? He's still fuming because the next Chelsea footballer, Leon Knight, stole his wife. That's why he's still bitter about Chelsea. But I won't go into that one. So
yeah, Jamie.
I think it's a little early for me to start talking about what I really think is going to happen at the final. I know we're highly, highly motivated, and I personally think Liverpool could well be in trouble. But, the final's a long way off, and injuries and form is something we need to keep an eye on as we get closer to it. In a way, since it's the last trophy we can win this season, it might work in our favour. However, having said that, away from the players, I want to focus on something else that really disturbed me today. And in the final, we have to address. Chelsea fans at Wembley, we look soft. We look soft. Today it was embarrassing.
I was.
You
Totally.
look at what we were doing compared to Crystal Palace. You know, I know I've discussed this quite a bit with Julius. This has got to stop. We're better than this.
Yeah.
We're there
Bob-
like a bunch of tourists, you know, little families here and there, and
Nice little
look,
picnics.
Bobby,
Yeah.
Bobby, do you know what they do though? You know what we should do? What Crystal Palace do is they all arranged, the ultras arranged it so that they can have tickets all together so they can
Matt,
start singing. We
exactly,
haven't got that unified. We need to get more unified. Our
Matt,
singers need to get
you know what's
together
happened?
and
You know what's
galvanize us.
you know what's happened to Chelsea fans? I think in the past, we had our ultras, but our ultras were mega ultras, as it were. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah,
and
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
you know, I think we've got so conscious of that we've gone the other way. You know, listen, if you're going to bring your whole family to a football match, I'm not saying don't do it, but really, come on.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
exactly. Show some atmosphere. Exactly.
you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, if you're there, you know, your wife, your
To be honest,
2-year-old, your 4-year-old,
to be honest,
look,
I think
you know,
I,
this is
I think I'm
football.
good.
Look, listen, we need to get back to the time where a bunch of lads, as you've said, will get together and arrange themselves and go to the club, to the games together. That's how you get atmosphere. That's how you get chanting. I mean, what was going on? If you looked at on the screens at Palace and then looked at Chelsea, it's
I know.
embarrassing.
As
I thought
Baggett,
just the fans today were more loud. I was a little louder.
no, we weren't.
That was my
We
And I
weren't.
tell you
We
what,
weren't.
guys, in the final against Liverpool, you think Palace was supported? You wait and see what Liverpool will do. If we don't match them, man, I probably won't even watch the game. I'm telling you. I look, you know, I
Me
feel
and Max,
frustrated.
Bobby,
Yeah.
me and Max were at the last final at the Carabao Cup. We were
And the
there.
governor, big up governor. He's on
Yeah,
that. I
with
see him on
Governor
there.
as well, Governor and Josh. I mean, we gave it, all we could in regards to chanting, singing, and whatnot. But Liverpool were a different level. They had flares going off in their, in their part of the,
Yeah.
the stadium.
Because they organize themselves in groups and come. You know, Chelsea kind of went away from that because of our past, you know, but we had that, you know, trust me, we had that, but it was used in the wrong way. But we can get back to that and use it in the right way.
Question. Can I ask a
Sometimes, you
question?
know, because
But
I know
Bobby, parts of the ground now is embarrassing because
it's
but if you, I know Mo, you went to the game the other day. I think sometimes you sitting in the East End or something. Sometimes I'm singing. When I go to the games now, I don't go as much. But sometimes you start to try and get a song going, and nobody joins in, and it's just like, what's
Well,
going on?
Max, can I just say, so what, so see, when me personally, if I go to the game, I like to get my voice going, I like to, have a bit of atmosphere, right? See the people at Wembley today, did they think they were in Hawaii on the beach just relaxing? Like, no, you're at Wembley, you're watching Chelsea play, show your voice, get the voice going. You've seen Palace with a flag, you've seen Palace with
And is it complacency as well, though? Because I went to 1997 FA Cup final, and the atmosphere that day was fantastic against Middlesbrough because we hadn't seen that for ages. The year after when we were in Europe for the first time, we played against a team called Victoria Shishkov, and my word, that everyone was standing. It was a seating room, and we blew the place down.
So today was it just full of tourists? Like, but
I just think even this less. I think even because the year after we played Middlesbrough in the League Cup final, okay, and we beat them 2-0 that year, and it was less of an atmosphere, maybe because we had won one trophy and the club had got used to winning again, and it's just like, okay, sort of thing. But it shouldn't be like that, though. That's the thing.
Matt says there's a demographic that come to games. Fortunately, I get the opportunity to move around the stands, and when I look down and I see, groups of lads that should be together making noise are scattered and then you have all this sort of family picnic thing going on there. You know, I'm thinking, what is this?
So honestly, today, you know, see that
hold
atmosphere
on.
today. That atmosphere today.
Bobby,
I've seen more atmosphere in
wait,
Tesco.
Chris, hold on. This comment here from Dexter, I can vouch for this.
It is.
I've been there. Westview Upper. It really is a quiet place to be at.
Who are the people that occupy those seats? And I'll tell you why it's quiet.
Older people, generally older people, families, season ticket holders.
We're trying to be too PC.
Yeah, but a quick question. Isn't it because we have a limited places at Stamford Bridge? We don't have enough support. Like, we cannot compare our fan base, the number, with Liverpool. They have enough. So they can actually have different sections, youngsters, and create a group that always change the organized.
No, the difference is... I'll tell you what it is.
I'm just going to say, I'm pretty sure more than 50% of Chelsea fans that go to the stadium are more than 60 years old or 50 years old. When you compare that to Liverpool, you pick the total number of fans. Even if you have maybe 30% are over 30 years old, so and the other are youngsters. So I think that
there's no excuses for that atmosphere. Simple.
I think the thing is, another thing what's happened is that a lot of what you call the working class brigade have been priced out of Chelsea now, because I know an awful lot of Chelsea people who said, "Oh yeah, I used to go, but I don't go anymore," and those were the vocal, passionate ones. What you're getting now is the tourist people, as Bob said. You're getting, and I'm not saying it's overseas people, I'm saying people who see it as a day out, okay, and it's more of a day out to watch a game rather than go and support your club, and so they just.
Friends to that. Man. Are you saying the foreigner?
I'm not. I didn't say overseas. I said tourist, and I said people maybe from other parts of the country as well. And it's all about taking selfies now. It's more about taking selfies than it is cheering.
No, but can I just say,
and stuff.
Right, I've been in Tesco's, right, and if anyone's not from the UK, Tesco's is a supermarket, right. That atmosphere today, right, and I know this is a stupid comparison. We're going to make it to show you how embarrassing that atmosphere was today. I've seen more atmosphere in a Tesco's than that atmosphere today. That atmosphere was embarrassing today. You've got to put your hands up and you've got to be honest. Like, honestly, what is the point of going to a game there's Thomas Tuchel with his Chelsea gear on? No. Show your voice and outsing Palace supporters, and in the final, outsing the Liverpool supporters, man. Honestly.
Terrible.
You bring your
you guys.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just bring you Julius, and then I'll come to MDT. Julius and MDT. Go ahead, Julius.
Thanks. So, I actually want to thank Bobby for bringing this up, because yesterday I think maybe Liverpool played yesterday, their FA Cup. Their fans were unbelievable, to be honest, in the stadium. Unbelievable. And they've been winning, so it's not an excuse that we got maybe used to winning. They've been winning for the past couple of years now, and they've won big things. The thing is, we were discussing about... This is, by the way, very related to the conversation we've been having about, like, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all the other guys, right? What makes you a special club is not only the squad. You look at, for example, teams who are not year in, year out winning trophies. Dortmund, they don't even have the biggest history in the world, yet they are very popular. You talk to many people who don't really support Dortmund that much. They're not actual Dortmund fans, but you ask them, which team do you like in Bundesliga? They'll tell you Dortmund. Why? Even though they don't win much. Because there's something special about this club, the aura about this club. And this is built by the fans, by the hard-working people that we keep saying. There is the atmosphere, the vibe, the way their stadium is, the way they support the team.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. You look at Liverpool, you talk to people who are not EPL fans. You ask them, which team do you like in England? A lot of people are gonna tell you Liverpool, not because of their history. Her history is a bonus, but Liverpool also have something special about them. The way they support their club, the way what's it called? Their song, their theme. There is something about this club that is attractive to people who are not really related to the Premier League. This is how you build. This is also related to the branding of your club, the Chelsea brand, that global brand, the attraction will have huge impact on our revenue too. Trust me, there is gonna be more fans because they have a soft spot or like something about Chelsea. Even though they're not Chelsea fans, they're gonna buy our kits, for example. They're gonna buy merchandises related to Chelsea. Something is attractive. We don't have that, unfortunately. And I'm not old enough to witness the dark ages when we had hooliganism and the Chelsea headhunters, I think they're called. So I don't know much about them, but I've heard, and maybe this is having an impact on maybe Chelsea fans have like bad memories. They're afraid to explore or to do things to unionize. I wanted to talk to you offline more about this because I have a plan for this. To be honest with you, I actually have a proper plan on how we can get this done and improve the atmosphere.
Part of the problem with that is that because
Sorry,
of the
Bobby.
past,
Sorry, Bobby. I said MDT. I'll come to you after MDT.
Yeah, I think we're missing one important link here. Liverpool, most of their fans, the ticket is passed over from grandfather, now even great-grandfather, to son or daughter. Is the like it's a social club, like a society? Okay, like a cooperative. That's how, although they're owned by American, but the funds, the structure of the fund, whatever, it's like a cooperative. That's how Liverpool funds operate. Whilst Chelsea, we are run as a corporation. Arsenal, the same thing. So those things, when a club is run like that, you lose that link between the community, the local fans, the whatever. Because as much as we like it, I'm not local to London. The local fans are the people that keep this thing going. If you diluting the amount of the Londoners, like if they are being diluted out, because people from now you have a lot of Chelsea fans who are coming over from Kent, from Hampshire, from Manchester. You have them all over the world. So when you have it, it's different. So Liverpool till today, they are dominated. Their fan base is dominated in their stadium. Is dominated by that core cooperative, like a society, like a social group, a social club. So Liverpool is a unique different. Barcelona the same, Dortmund the same, Real Madrid the same. It's like a society. They have a cooperative. Okay, the corporate side operate as corporate, but their fan is still a fan, the fanatic. They operate in that community-based issue. Whilst us, even our fan base, is split. We operate like business. Everybody for yourself. You do whatever. We're not together. Liverpool, they do stuff together. It doesn't matter where you support Liverpool from. If you come and support Liverpool, you have to first of all learn about the club history, and then be educated by it. All Liverpool fans knows that. But you meet the Chelsea fans, I don't care what happened. I just want this to happen now. So this is the difference. We don't have the connection. We don't care about the history of our club like they do. You meet an 18-year-old Liverpool fan, you'll be singing a song that they sang 40 years ago. His father wasn't even born. Believe me, they know everything about it. You look at even few of their YouTubers, they're in their 20s, they know everything about what happened in the 60s, what happened in the 80s, whatever, things like that. Liverpool is a unique club. And you go to Real Madrid, the same thing. Barcelona, the same thing. Dortmund, the same thing. But the club that are losing it, like you know, Julius, you know this more than me. Look at Juventus. They've lost it. Their stadium is not as powerful like it used to be. Because it's a corporation. This is the thing. It become an attraction for money and things like that. And the locals are competing with people who have deeper pockets coming from all around the country and things like that. You lose it. When you lose that, you can't have this atmosphere. It's going to be picnic. And this is the future. We have to find a way that we can incorporate the picnics and the local. But the picnic is not going anywhere. That's where the money is. So for me, that's my point. Liverpool and Real Madrid and the unique case. They maintain that structure. Still today is dominated by their core local people. If even an outside fans, when you come in, you learn about the club, history, players, everything, and respect that. Chelsea fans don't respect their history. Let's be honest, we don't. We poo-poo on our players, our past players. We dismiss things that happened yesterday. All we care about is today, today, today. Liverpool, they will think about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And even the day before yesterday. We don't. So it's a cultural issue. For me, that's my take on that.
Can I?
Wait, Bobby.
I slightly beg to differ. I think it's not quite that simple. And one thing, if you have a town that has one or maximum two clubs, the patronage of that town by the locals is going to be higher. You look at Newcastle, where you have Newcastle and then, if you're lucky, Sunderland. That whole sort of town and the area that includes Sunderland is patronized by the people of the town. So the support is closed, and you can get that sort of situation. Whereas with London clubs, it's quite different. You have supporters from a diverse region. It's always been like that. It's always been like that for Chelsea. Chelsea fans are not just from Chelsea and Fulham. Back in the day, Chelsea fans used to come from all that area down Shepherd's Bush, Ealing, Acton, Southall, Hayes, all
South London.
Yeah, all that greater London area. It was a huge, vast area. South London, Putney, Southwest London, all that area, that was Chelsea fans. And they will all converge at the bridge. So that is, the dynamic is different. The real thing that's happening is, as Max said, the average fan has actually been priced out largely, number one. And number two, we've gone to PC. I look around at the fans and I think, what's going on here? We have all these sort of people coming with, I'm not saying, you see, I've got to be careful here.
But Bobby, just clarify, PC, you're talking about politically correct, yeah?
Politically correct. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring families to games and that girls shouldn't come and watch men's game. I'm not saying that. But there has been a discouraging of large groups of lads getting together to watch games because of Chelsea's history. Now, you mentioned Liverpool in their semi-final. If you look at the crowd and see the people making the noise, lighting the flares, who are they? Young men. Young men. Let's be real. We've got to bring them back to the bridge. A lot of them were dispersed. A lot of them were involved with some silly things in the past, but we've got to bring them back. And they are there, but they come in little spurts and scattered all around the stadium. They're worried about coming together to group and form the supporters. Look, let me tell you, back in the day, the Chelsea Supporters Club used to meet and they would arrange songs. Max, I don't know if you remember this. They used to send out letters to each other, arrange the new songs that would come out that should be sang. You meet outside. Yeah. Sorry?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you would meet outside the stadium, have a drink in some pubs, and then you all march into the stadium in one almighty number. That's where you get this. Sadly, when those meetings were happening during the aggressive days, some elements came in and utilized that to recruit people into their different groups, and it became a violent thing. But, those days are gone now. We can revisit that, but we've got to encourage young men to come together and watch the games, because that's where your noise is going to come from. It's very simple.
Yeah, the thing is as well.
Wait, Boogie.
No, okay, yeah. I was going to say close to what Bobby has said. We need to bring youngsters back on the bridge, and at least give them a section where they can regroup. 200 people are enough to shake that ground and sing and all. A club like Standard Liège, all those, because I spent some time in Belgium and all those things.
Look at Palace.
They,
Look what
they,
Palace were doing.
yeah,
It's the
okay,
same
yeah.
thing.
You can
Just
see it.
come
Like
in.
the club is so structured in a way. I'm talking about Standard Liège. The club is so structured in a way, and there is a certain number of ticket that is sold to a certain number of group that always have those youngsters. You see them getting them with for those tambour, tam tam, or whatever you want to call them, with those trumpet. Those the group that at least can fill up at least 100 to 200 people. They know where they are. They know it's come from there. You can have the family people also come, but those people will never stop making those notes till for the 90 minutes, or even if we have to play 120 minutes. I think I've noticed the same thing also with the Glasgow and Rangers and all those things. Those stadium also they have a section of that. It's not that big, so we need to be able to bring those people back, minus the racism and that's hooliganism and all those things. We need to at least bring the youngsters back so they can start shaking that ground. And at least when we go away, also we need to have a section that travel, and it has to be organized by the club or the fan. Like more, you have more 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 people following you. Maybe you should get together with the others and talk about it. Find how you
Max,
can.
Well, the thing
does the
is,
Chelsea Supporters Club still
Wait,
exist?
wait. Hold on. Max.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, look, our away support is second to none. Let's not forget that, and that's because most of the away support who we get are the people who go there and sing and galvanise. So, anytime we're away, you were vocal. You heard us in Real Madrid in the Bernabeu in front of in the 80,000, 90,000. You heard the Chelsea loud and clear. Um, we going
Very
back to what
true.
Crystal Palace. Yeah, going back to what Crystal Palace do, they arranged a singing section, and then the idea was that singing section, they'll start singing, and it would have a ripple effect around the ground, and that's how they got the atmosphere up at Crystal Palace. Incidentally, when I used to go, because Crystal Palace are local to me, when I used to go to Crystal Palace, sometimes when Chelsea were playing, half the crowd were there. You're speaking to them, I'm a Chelsea supporter, I'm a Chelsea supporter. They just used to go just for a laugh at the Crystal Palace ground, because we've got South London, Kent, all over the place. We've got Chelsea supporters, lots of Chelsea supporters. And the other thing I want to say, remember we had the trial standing. What's happened to that? The standing area. They did trial it just before we got
They brought it back.
sanctioned.
I
So
think
that's
it's going to
another
be
way. I
okayed
think. If,
for next season.
yeah. So
Oh,
I
next
think
season. Okay.
hopefully that's when we can start to get everyone
Converge.
together, those who want to sing to get together, and hopefully, like Crystal Palace, if we can get people who want to sing and create an atmosphere, then hopefully there'll be a ripple effect across the ground. But I doubt it though, because remember, we know that obviously, anyone who goes to the ground knows the song. We're the north side, we're the north side, we're the north side of the shed, we're the south side, and then when it gets to the west, it becomes quiet, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
everyone sings, and it gets to the west side, and then the west side is like two people singing, maybe. Yeah.
But
So
also, Max, banners.
yeah,
Banners. I
banners.
mean,
Yeah.
what is going on? Do we have to wait for Roman to issue out flags for us before we can bring banners to the stadium? I just don't get
Well,
it
Yeah.
with Chelsea now.
Question though,
last time we bought banners, they were taken away from us.
is those music instrument, are they not allowed in EPL stadium? Because I still
Yeah.
keep seeing
Tottenham have a big drum. Crystal
the
Palace have
drums.
one. Well, yeah, Crystal Palace have one. Tottenham have one.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
this
So they are allowed.
conversation needs to happen with the club. And honestly, look, I know we have the Chelsea supporters trust, and we are the shed and all that. I'm gonna say what I think of these people on here, and that represent my opinion, not the channel. I'm not impressed whatsoever with these groups, and I think among these groups there is a lot of two-faced people who are not who do not have the club at club's interest at their heart. Um, I do have no trust in these guys who are on the helm of these organizations or unions, you want to call them. And I'm not saying all of them, but huge question marks on the leaders who are running these two organizations or unions, especially with how they handled the Ricketts bid, um, and especially how they even reacted and handled the protest, because they were very sneaky. Um, in regards to the atmosphere, I don't think these guys are going to do anything about it. I don't think they have the knowledge or the capacity to do it, or even if they have, if they care too much to do it. We have to create a union, and this union is specialized about the atmosphere. That group of people, young, old, middle age, doesn't matter, should be joining this. Background checks done, cards for membership, meetings, groups for communication, and this needs to be also acknowledged. And cooperation should be done with the club, with the club board or whoever is in charge, probably operations side. So this is something that needs to happen. And Mo, I wanted to talk to you about this because I have a plan for it, and I think with your connections and your reach, we can get something moving about this as well.
Julius,
So
can I just
what's-
say this, Mo, please?
One second, Bobby. You gave your opinion, Julius. I'm gonna give you my opinion as a channel in regards to the supporters trust. They have to work within a specific frame, which in theory should be led by the supporters rather than led by the club. However, I agree with you. I think they are trying to appease the club more than they are trying to appease the supporters who they're supposed to be representing. In regards to the supporters trust, in regards to the shed, we are the shed. And in regards to what they did and their position, specifically when it comes to the Ricketts bid, they were very restricted and very limited in the way they approached the whole situation. I think they didn't want to fall out of favor with the club. And they did decide to partake in the protest in their own way rather than, become part of the fan base and help us with the protest that we set up outside of the bridge. Boogeyman, seriously, your audio. Outside of the bridge, they decided to put a banner in the stadium, which they did not get authorization for, and eventually it didn't go up. So they didn't even partake in the protest. We ended up having a protest that was specifically asked and arranged for by Matisse Armani, a YouTuber, one of us, a fan. And he did all he could. He printed out flyers. He made some makeshift banners. He contacted a whole bunch of people, informed a whole bunch of journalists, and we managed to get around 150, 200 people to turn up on the day. We Are the Shed didn't support us. They retweeted, I think, a couple of his tweets. Okay. The supporters trust. Everything that I'm glad the Ricketts withdrew. I'm glad that for whatever reason, whether it was us, whether it was financial reasons, I'm glad they withdrew. But at the same time, them coming into this bid, I'm also glad they did, because it showed the true face of a lot of different entities within our community. And it also showed the true face of a lot of fans who would talk the talk when it comes to racism, but when it came to actually taking a stand, they didn't take a stand. Some didn't even take a stand. Some took a wrong stand. They stood with the wickets in a direct way. Some stood with them in an indirect way. But we saw a lot of hypocrisy from the fan base. The Saudi bid, that also had a big impact on the community. The Saudi bid, for some reason, people can't distinguish between a private enterprise and a state-backed bid. A state-backed bid, you can criticize it for human rights issues. You can criticize it for the war in Yemen. You can criticize it for all kinds of reasons. A state-backed bid. But a private enterprise, you can't. You can't. And the fact that a lot of people did, a lot of people were talking, you're against the wickets, but you're fine with the Saudis. Yeah. And it isn't the Saudis. Why do you call them rickets and you call these Saudis? Call them Al Khawaji. Use his name. He's a human being. He has a name. Use his name. Al Khawaji. We don't label the wickets as the Americans and all the Americans are this. No. This guy his name is Al Khawaji. Discuss him. Does he have skeletons in his closet? Bring them out. Let's talk about him. No issues. But don't talk about his state. Boris Johnson, whatever he does not reflect upon me. I'm a British citizen. Tomorrow, if I want to do something, you go, Boris Johnson did that. Well, I don't care. Nothing to do with me. We can't seem to distinguish when it comes to Arabs. And a lot of that was brought up on social media, on Twitter. I had to address it. Julius, you addressed it. A lot of people addressed it. And some people could not understand that they were being bigots, they were being hypocrites, they were being racists. They couldn't understand it because as far as they're concerned, when it comes to Saudis, all the Saudis are the same. They're not. They're not. So that in respect to the Chelsea supporters trust and we are the shed. Look, I think a lot of people need to understand the evolution of the way sport in general is being represented and being supported, and specifically for us, football. It's going to change. Even Liverpool, even Real Madrid, even Inter Milan, these fan bases, they will change, and it isn't because they want to change. It's because the world is changing, sport is changing, the way we approach it, the way we see it is changing. Whether we like it or not, it isn't going to stay the same. We can address it, but it's like being, what's the word here? Trying to push something that is inevitable, and you're delaying it maybe a year, 2, 3, but it's going to change, and especially with the injection of American sports owners, American investors, American consortiums. I've been to baseball games in America, and I tell you, the atmosphere is dead. The atmosphere is dead. that is not something I want to see. I mean, if you think the West View is dead, you should wait until the Americans take
even
over.
hockey in Canada is huge, right? I go to hockey games here and there. I fell asleep. My friends were sitting. I literally fell asleep. My friends were sitting beside me. You know, if you're watching a hockey or a basketball game, the TV broadcasters, they go through the fans and they catch something funny in the crowd and they highlight it. They were praying that the camera on TV catches me sleeping. I literally was snoring in the game, and that's a hockey game in the arena.
I don't know what kind of hockey you're watching, man. Nobody sleep at hockey.
What do they do? Go Habs, go clapping.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Really big noise going on in hockey game, man.
It's music noise. It's the speakers. It's like you're sitting and there is music. It's like a nightclub, and then all the fans are doing their.
You go nightclub and sleep, man.
Or they have one chance. Go Habs, go, because I'm a Habs fan. But you know, like the whatever team you support, Bruins
don't go watch a game when you're already tired. That's my advice for you, man.
Well, I think you're slightly mixing up two different things. You know, I've often said, you know, when this whole Ricketts thing was going on, that look, this is a bigger issue. It's a far bigger issue than what was being addressed. And I wasn't surprised by the response at all. I just think, you know, as far as the sort of race issue is concerned, it's an evolution. It will take time. It's not going to change overnight. It's going in the right direction, but it's definitely not going to change overnight. And that's just the reality. But what we were talking about earlier, or what I raised earlier, was the issue of support and making noise. Now, you don't need...
Sorry, Bobby. You know, I totally agree about that. But I was responding to Julius's points in regards to the supporters trust and We Are the Shed and how they handle certain situations. That's what I was responding to.
I mean, we don't need the supporters trust to create a movement of fans who are looking to build atmosphere at the bridge. You just go out and start it yourself.
Wasn't talking about the atmosphere. We're talking about the race issue.
No. Just to clarify what I said. Yes, we were talking. I questioned these organizations on how they stood about the Ricketts. However, I also meant We Are the Shed specifically. They're the one who do the banners and all that stuff apparently, right? And they organize certain things here and there. They're not good enough. They're not doing enough. Plus, I'm not sure about whoever is leading this group. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way they do it, and this is where I led to the Ricketts topic. But Bobby, we need a union. Look at Rangers. They have a union. They have an organization. They meet. They text. They have a chant. They're so organized. Rangers is something I like to refer to when it comes to fan base and atmosphere because we're so similar.
Well, can I just touch on that, Julius? I want to touch on that because obviously, as you know, I'm Scottish, right? So I know firsthand what Rangers is, right? Look, Rangers to me, you're absolutely correct. They're supporters, right? They've been through so much, but they still show up and support the game. And I keep going back to this game today. I just think to myself, it's just embarrassing, man. That is just embarrassing. And we just need to prepare. We just need to plan more. Are we just showing up to games and having picnics like Bobby keeps referring to? Honestly, are we doing that? Because in the final,
how do you get those people sitting in the same place? You can just
this is what I was trying to say. You don't wait for if the established unions, as Julius refers to them, are not doing it. Then you start it. All you have to do is just start it. And then if you've got enough cooperation, you then approach the club and say, look, this is what we're doing. We'd like to sit at this certain place. This is our plan to create atmosphere. They're not going to. They're not going to stop you, especially if you say, "Look, we're quite happy to submit ourselves to a police check or whatever you want to do to vouch for our characters." I mean, it's up to it is those people that were passionate about leading the protest. If that same energy is put into something like this, it will work. And then you probably will find these other groups coming and banding with you. After all, we're all Chelsea fans. We all want the same thing. But we have to be specific. Unfortunately, we're living in a world where, in order to impact the wider good, you've got to start with these little things. Just focus on being the noisemakers at the club, first of all. And then from there, other things will then fall into place. But if we start with, oh, we want to change this, we want to speak out against this, you've lost already because you're not dealing with people that are quite ready for it.
Mhm.
That's just the reality.
By the way, Mo, this is the only channel that is having this type of conversation since the beginning. No one, no channel, no Chelsea influencer, no football influencer has ever had these discussions. This is beautiful. I'm absolutely loving because I think it's eye opening.
I have that discussion, man.
You know, it's eye opening. People need to start waking up and realizing it's not only about the transfers and the players. There's so much. I work in the strategy field and I look at things from a completely different perspective. The impact, let's say when we talk about Liverpool and Dortmund and these guys, right? I like to say Dortmund more because they don't have the biggest history. Why is Dortmund have a special aura about them? Because of the fans. Imagine you are a successful club with with all the trophies we've been winning in a very iconic area in London and a proper theme. Imagine we create something special when it comes to supporting the club with a union full of people that wants to join. You create cards, you organize, you communicate, you create chants and songs and banners, and you start making this very special atmosphere at Stamford Bridge. Trust me, this is not only going to impact the performance on in their game, this is going to increase revenues, reach, branding, merchandise sales, and it's just beneficial from all angles. If this is what I'm trying to say.
No, Mo, can I just say before you go
Can
to
I
DJ,
can I just say hello to DJ Saf? Come on, man. He's been here for 15 minutes.
No.
I want to say hello to DJ Saf. Come on, let me just say hello to DJ.
Yeah,
DJ,
big up,
hello.
guys. What's going on? Oh, how are you
How you
guys?
doing?
I'm all good, bro. All good, all good. I just got back home. Was at my bro's house today. We're out there for Easter today. So just chilling out with him and my dad, watching a match there. Okay, just only got home now. But yeah, how you guys been? You're good or happy with the result today? I'm
Yeah,
sure.
love you, brother. Love you,
We're
brother.
good. We're good. I
Cheers,
kept
brother.
the
Love you too,
conversation
bro.
going, so you can come in, man. That's all. Welcome.
Oh, cheers, man. Cheers, Boogie, man.
You're welcome.
DJ, let me hear your thoughts on this lack of passion, lack of energy that we're seeing from the supporters, the fans. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Look, I get where you're coming from. We have got unfortunately, some of our fan base are very much quite compared to if you're going to compare it to Anfield, you're going to compare it to Manchester United, grounds like that where the crowds really back their teams and stuff. With our situation, it's always the same situation. When our team's not playing well, it's like a library. I mean, I've been at the bridge several times. You see it there. When clubs come to us, teams come onto us, our crowd does go quiet. But I think it's improved. I think it's improved a great deal to what it used to be like before. But we just need to have a little bit more of it. You know, especially when the chips are down and stuff like that. We need to be a bit more there. The crowd needs to be more behind the players, more behind the club, the situation that we're in at the time. But yeah, I get what you're trying. I think we have probably one of the quietest fan base around compared to some of
No,
our
but
other.
why is that though,
other
DJ?
others.
Why do you think that is?
Do you know what? I really don't know, Chris. I'll be honest with you, bro. I mean, I've gone to the bridge several times, and I've when I used to go, that's when I used to go. When I go to matches, sometimes when the chips are down and our play. I mean, for example, I have to say the Brentford game. I'll give a prime example of that. Yeah, when we got the goal, the crowd was on song. Obviously, when Brentford equalised, we went completely down after that.
Yeah, but that's
And
the
it
thing,
just,
though.
you
So
could tell
see
the
when we've
players get
conceded,
rented.
that goal. This is where I'm
Yeah.
talking about. This is where your support. You should be backing the team and firing the lads
Yes,
on.
exactly. I always do. No matter what. Whenever the chips are down, bro, my team is losing. Even though we're losing, you'll always see me shouting, singing in the crowd, saying what I have to say for backing my players, backing everything. I always do it, bro. But sometimes you get what I do get with some of our fan base, unfortunately, is they turn on some of our players. I think we've seen that
Which
several
isn't
times.
right. That's not right.
No, it's not. It's not. You hear them moaning in the crowds. Oh, he shouldn't be playing today. He should be out on it. You think to yourself, come on, guys, back our team. We're losing here at the moment. Our team needs us here. Back us. Back the team. They need that support. And it's one of those situations at Chelsea. I don't know. I mean, I've been going for years and years and years. It's always been that way with us. I don't know why. It's just one of those situations. People are talking about increasing Stamford Bridge to a 60,000 capacity crowd. I tell you what, if our crowd are going to go down in the dumps on certain matches, man, what's the point of having a 60,000 capacity crowd if some of our fan base are going to keep quiet and not stick by them when things are down? It's wrong. I mean, for me personally, like I said, you don't get that with Liverpool. You don't get that with Manchester City. You don't get that with Manchester United. Even Newcastle, I have to throw that at them as well. Their fans 24/7 singing every time.
Don't say Man City, DJ.
Yeah, Man City's only
I know.
10 fans.
No. Well, no. I'm saying Man City because let's be honest. I think their crowd capacity is bigger than ours now.
Yeah, but they don't fill it though.
Yeah, but they don't fill it up though. Honestly, they don't.
They don't always fill up. But when I've gone to Manchester City's ground to watch them, when I've gone down there a few times, I've not gone to all their great games, but when I've gone there a few times, sometimes their crowd, when they are there, when the stadium is pretty full, they do stick by their teams no matter what.
You know why I think that is though, DJ, is because Man City put their tickets on discount websites. That's what it is, because they can't fill the stadium. Man City don't have.
No, not all the time they can't. But they do that. But you see the crowd though. They do that little blue. They do the little moon dance. They get into the little blue moon, like the blue moon dance.
What do you think, DJ, about like the creation of a unified group for let's say ultras in a good way? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that in itself. I mean, why not? I mean, we, like I keep saying, I think all the grounds that I've been at, and when I followed Chelsea play, I have to say, the crowd level, especially when you're going to away matches, like I've said Manchester United, I've said Liverpool. You hear the way their crowd sing, even Newcastle sing, and you hear it compared to Stamford Bridge, and you're like, sometimes you're thinking to yourself, where are our fans? Sometimes, when the chips are down, especially, and if we can get something, just to make it, I don't know what to say, like, a little crowd set up where people are there's a certain people banging the drum, getting the fans singing, one of those kind of situations. You get that kind of going, regardless. Yeah.
And
can I say something? Can I say something? Listen, right. I think two things. Because we've become more successful, our fan base has become more spoiled. Okay, because we expect to be winning all the time. Because when we weren't successful, no, that's true. It's a fact though. Because when we weren't successful, we were a lot more vocal. I used to go a lot in the years when we didn't used to win anything, and we were a lot more vocal. But having said that, Liverpool are. I've been on forums and on Twitter. I had the same problem with Liverpool. There's no atmosphere in the smaller games. The reason why you hear atmosphere at Liverpool, because they're up for the games against Chelsea. In our big games, we're up for it, ain't we? The atmosphere is up against Liverpool, Man U, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham. We've got, usually the atmosphere is up for those games. So usually that when we're playing against the lesser teams, where that's when we kind of need the atmosphere up, but really when the teams are sitting back and we need something to happen in the in the crowd. Nights in Europe, for instance, that's another thing. Nights in Europe against the bigger teams in Europe, the fans are out for it, and they do sing. But we just need to keep up that energy all the time. I think when you're looking at fan bases, you look at Crystal Palace, Newcastle, teams like that. No matter who the team are they're playing against, they're vocal. I think with a lot of the bigger teams, Manchester United and Liverpool included, it is the case where it has to be, they're up for the big nights, but not for the what you call the lesser games as well, and that's where we need to get to.
No, but can I just say more?
Chris. It is 1:05 in the morning.
That's your fault, Mo. You started later.
Yeah, I know, but it will be streaming for 3 hours, so that's
wow.
3 hours.
Can I just add one point?
No, because I'm literally gonna fall asleep on the computer, and then the stream is gonna keep on going because no one's gonna turn it off. Listen, tomorrow, we will be streaming potentially early. I'm not gonna make any promises, but should have a great show for you tomorrow early evening. If that show doesn't happen, then we will be streaming tomorrow night. I will be doing a different type of match preview for the Arsenal game. I'm hoping to bring in some Arsenal fans, so we're gonna have a couple of Arsenal fans joining the panel.
Excellent.
What do you mean? Oh no! What do you mean?
That's good. You can blast them then, isn't it? Tell them how. No, I'm joking.
I can't tell you who they are just yet, but it's people that you guys know. So we've had one of them on the show before, a couple of times, and one we have never had on the show. But we've seen that. We've seen the person in the chat. I'll let you know who they are in the group chat. So hopefully they'll be coming on Tuesday. So we'll be doing no, tomorrow is something else. Hopefully we'll have that stream on Tuesday. Tomorrow, regardless of what happens, we will be doing the giveaway. Yes and no. Okay. So,
do you know what? It's a shame you couldn't get a gal on, Mo. You know that. A gal would have been ideal, bro. Trust me.
Igal, I've asked him a couple of times. He's never responded, so I don't know what his situation is. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have Igal on one day. But yeah, Miss Melina is one of the people I've asked to come on, and she has accepted, but we haven't confirmed the date and time.
Oh, she's a YouTuber also?
She's a YouTuber also. And the other person is Scott. Scott from It's a Football Thing podcast. He's also accepted, but again, we haven't discussed the schedule yet. So hopefully Tuesday. I'll just need to confirm the time with them, and that will be our match preview for Chelsea, Arsenal, and I'm knackered. I'm shattered. Been a fantastic
2 minutes
discussion
each?
today. No, Boogie, I'm tired. I really want to go to bed.
2 minutes each.
Boogie.
No, your 2 minutes. You use your 10 though.
I have to drink some water, eat something because I'm fasting tomorrow morning. So let me go. And
all right,
guys. It's been a good stream. But we will talk again tomorrow. Have a good night, and I'll see everyone tomorrow evening.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Peace,
Bye-bye.
guys. Peace out. Take care.